still in me. I cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I'm still never free from this addiction, affliction. Now it's yours, but still in me. Cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I don't deserve you. You stay true. I want to save you from my misery. You couldn't save me from my misery. I'm addicted to my misery box. Addicted to my misery box.
And good morning, best chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. We're coming up to episode delicious, malicious morning nonsense. A very special episode of delicious, malicious morning nonsense chat. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic Monday. If the Monday demon wasn't too cruel to you all, but welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Here we go. We got a special episode today. We're going to go into some stuff. Going to have some fun. Going to go over some videos. Going to look into some topics of interest. So here we go, chat. A very special guest will be on in a little bit here. It's a Gunblade Night says, good morning, LD, Shady, and Best Chat. Hello to you. Praise be to Space King. I'll be back after breakfast. Sounds good to me. Sounds like a good plan. Arsey Voices up, LD, Shady, and Best Chat. Stories used to be about heroes, figures we could aspire to be. That's true. That's what they're supposed to be. So never have we ever had an era, I don't think, that's supposed to be, oh, every hero is supposed to be you. Why? That was supposed to be aspirational. Heroes are aspirational. That's why Odysseus was so awesome. That's why Tales of Troy were so epic, because we're supposed to be kind of like, reach for the stars kind of thing. Not, this guy is you. That's ridiculous. So now all we get is our idols only exist to rationalize our weaknesses. It's regressive storytelling. It really is. It's coddling. It's very coddling. Like if you have if someone just kind of caters to what you want and who you are, and that kind of doesn't ever really push you to change. It's kind of how it goes. He says, "Good morning, LD and Best Chat. Howdy. How do you do to Shady?" We'll see him in a second here. Megathon says, "Oh my goodness, what time to be alive?" Okay, Meg, just acting natural, nothing to get to work of Shady, Doorags, and LD together. We'll see how it goes. We definitely will. Dr. Crispin says, "Good morning. Remember, LD, you'll be talking to another intellectual, so don't mention John Redcorn." It's been a while since I've seen the discourse of John Redcorn. That topic of interest. You know what? I'll start with John Redcorn. That's also, we get this customer before Shady and Squirrel Tactics. This is acceptable. Fantastic. Nathan Does a Ball says, I had to do double take because I thought the stream said a sit down and shut up with Shady. I mean, I guess it could also be applicable. As the Hudson Bomb says, morning, folks. At this point, it wasn't a matter of if, but when the Doorags would make an appearance for some nonsense. Looking forward to hearing his take on modern media and storytelling. I guess we'll check it out. Up, down says, woman level and Shady Rags. At the same time, my body is ready. Isn't ready. Be gentle. I say good morning. Hello to you, Book Column. Good morning. Good morning. Dr. E. Ronnie the Fourth. Good morning, LD and Best Chat. It is the day you finally have a real guy on the stream that isn't mad rapping. Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. I guess not. See, Shadow Wing Trunks says, good morning, all. Hey there. How you doing? Doing pretty good. Jay Price says, hi, all. Hello to Jay Price. Here, Shay Durag supposed to be on? Absolutely. Lady Fuzza says, good morning, LD and Bez Chat. Welcome, Shady Doorags. Welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. Zephyr Issue says, good morning, LD and Shady Doorags. Looking forward to this show. Fantastic. All the way from Rumble. Limp Biscuit says, good morning, LD and Chat and Shady. I don't know who you are, but I look forward to getting to know you a bit. Fantastic. He does fantastic videos on various shows and media. As a fan of Dari, I like the I like the I like the breakdowns of the Dari episodes because that show is very underrated. I mean, it's beloved, obviously, but no one really talks about it in terms of what kind of a cultural impact it really had. It's really good stuff. Like Dari really is an impactful show. I'd say. Siege Gardens says, good morning. Hello, LD and Best Chat and Shady. Hello to you, Siege Gardens. Carl Tolkien says, hi, all. Have we really good morning started to post completed stories? Fantastic. Carl Tolkien, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Carter Ketchel says, good morning, Liv and Rumble Chat. A few minutes late because of work. What's the good word? We'll check it out in a little bit here. Miss Mora says, good morning, LD, Shady, and Chat. Hello to you, and Aluminum Fence. Praise be to LD, Best Chat, and of course, Space King. So how was the Odyssey in IMAX? I didn't see it in IMAX. I don't know if that fortunately or unfortunately, but I didn't see it in IMAX. That's a normal theater, and I give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It was if it didn't have to be bogged down with the woke stuff, and with if Nolan wasn't so pretentious, cutting off all the fantastic elements, it would have been better. WDW Pro did a great breakdown. Why it doesn't disprove Go Woke Go Broke? Yeah, it doesn't, because it wasn't a woke movie to that extent. Like Nolan dragged it across the finish line. It wasn't helping him at all. It was like dead weight. See, by the way, what happened to Literature Angel? He only comes in when I have to be ironic or something. Anyway, chat, it's time for our guest to enter the show. Let's see. What should it be, chat? What should it be? What about this? I know. Hold on. Maybe not that one. Let's see. What about this? I don't know.
0 days without nonsense. I don't even know why I even look at the board anymore.
And welcome, Shady Doorags.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, I got to do the thing to everyone just to prove it's me. Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here.
Hey, it is like the video. Yeah, fantastic.
And I got this thing. I'm supposed to read. Right, Dev? Supposed to read this. Lit Dev did not write this. I am reading this of my own volition. I love being on this show. He does not have my family hostage. In fact, I contacted him to be on this show because I love it so much. I did good, right?
Good. Just like we practiced. Oh crap, my mic was still on. Just like I told you. Welcome, Shady Doorags. Glad to have you on. Always been a fan of your videos. I don't think there has been one that I disliked. I think I like them all. Very, very good insight into these things, into these the media. And I think I've seen almost every show you covered, so it is like a really good blast of nostalgia because I used to watch those shows as well.
So you like My Little Pony?
Actually, I did watch a few episodes. I have a little sister. Well,
good save.
A totally real little sister and everything from Canada. Unless it's Friendship with Magic, that one I have not seen, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. I guess it depends on the perspective.
It's funny that you're like, there's not a video of yours that I don't like because I have a very different opinion of that. Like you go back a certain year, past that year, I'm like, those videos make me cringe.
Well, that means you're growing. It's a good sign. Let's see. But I forgot. One thing I did forget, though, was any animosity around John Redcorn. So someone said, do not mention John Redcorn. So I decided to start off with your take on John Redcorn.
So John Redcorn is the second video on my channel that went viral and changed my how the internet views me. Before that was BoJack Horseman. John Redcorn, he's a character I've disliked for a long time just because he's a let me explain it to the audience. For those who've never seen King of the Hill, John Redcorn in the show is a character, Native American, but he is having an affair with a married woman, and she is raising his son with her husband who thinks the son is his. And I can't stand him because of that reason. And a new season of King of the Hill just dropped. I haven't seen it yet, but some people have said that my contentions with John Redcorn might reemerge with what's in it. But yeah,
that's interesting. I haven't seen it either. I saw the first new season, which I kind of liked. But I haven't seen the new season.
I think season 14, which was the first season of the revival, I think it's quality King of the Hill. I don't think it's like perfect. I think it has flaws, but I think the original King of the Hill had flaws. So I think we're gonna see how far like it can manage to take itself. I think it does better than like most reboots nowadays because we're still in the age of rebooting everything.
Oh yeah, I went into the first season of the new King of the Hill, ready to cringe, but oddly enough, I didn't. I was like, oh, this is odd. This is very pleasant. It didn't blow my mind or anything, but it was very pleasant. Like, okay, pretty cool stuff. I like the beer episode. The beer episode was pretty interesting.
I think most of the episodes are good. There's only two I had major problems with. The one with where Bill lies about Peggy being his wife. I think emotionally that is the worst episode, and then objectively, I think the one about the manosphere is the worst episode because I think they just tackle it just awfully.
Where like what's that? Cotton's son becomes like a manosphere influencer or something.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be in the timeline. He's supposed to be like 8 or 9, but they aged him up to 13 specifically to tell that story, and they handle it so poorly. Like there's so much straw manning and just kicking a dead horse that they killed. It's like I'm not a fan of the manosphere, but I think the way they are, at least a specific branch of the manosphere that they're trying to tackle, but they handle it so poorly. Like nobody who doesn't already hate the manosphere is going to take them seriously. Or I think I said that sentence wrong. People who hate the manosphere are the only people who are already like going to get their message. If you're trying, if you could be swayed, that's not the episode that's going to sway you because of their straw manning.
They're basically preaching to the choir because it's so over the top, hateful towards the manosphere. That's like if you are a fan of the manosphere, then you're like, oh well, that's just an attack. I'm not going to be receptive to this message at all. So yeah, it doesn't really do anything. It just makes fun of the manosphere.
And it genuinely feels like people who don't understand men wrote that episode. It's people who project things onto men. Like when they have all these men like confess all the things that are wrong with them. I'm like, this sounds like an angry girlfriend who wants her boyfriend to say these things out loud. So she's using the show to do it.
It seems to be a lot of shows these days. It's like just I made a video on this. I think it was the last video I've made so far was on kind of this topic where it's where a lot of writers today, it's like a lot of women writers today will trying to kind of write men or write women that they think would be respected by men, but they see men as these like mindless cavemen who just respect power. When really men respect strength. And that's kind of how it goes. So it's like they definitely misunderstand what masculinity is.
Clarification: strength of character.
Yes, strength of character. So that's kind of why you get Rocky. Like he doesn't really win at the end of the Rocky movie, but he does go all the way with Apollo Creed. So men respect strength of character. It's kind of why a lot of men that at least what I know, that a lot of gym bros will just cheer on a guy, coming every day and working out. Like this, you're not strong yet, but you're working there. You're getting there. Guys will respect each other with muscles because not because you have power, but because you work to get those. It's kind of how that goes. So you look at the media today, where it's like, what are the female characters are coming out with? It's like Captain Marvel. It's like just all these basically what they're called girl bosses, and they're just powerful without earning that power, and they wonder why we don't respect them.
And it goes to the I've mentioned this before like plenty of times. It goes to like the power fantasies of different sexes. It's something that's difficult to talk about today because you immediately get labeled as sexist, but a lot of women would agree with a lot of different points if you word it correctly. But it goes with the different perspectives of men fantasize about a position in which they've earned value, like not just having value. It's specifically the earning value. You know, they want to be kings, knights, cowboys, people who do things. Women fantasize about intrinsic value, being born something, which is why they love fantasizing about being princesses, because princesses have intrinsic value. Just being a princess is valuable.
And being a princess is the best position because you get all the respect and adoration, but without the responsibility of a queen. So you just get to enjoy the privilege. But a long time ago, I did a video called "Superhero Comics Are for Men." And I titled it that specifically because I knew that would cause outrage. But the reason why I went over that is because I went over the exact study. There's psychological studies and everything, and they went the people behind the study kind of went down into, they broke it down into the chemistry and why men like this and why women like that, why like what they like, and I kind of took all the information and now I simplified it down to my theory, which is it's very simplified, but essentially goes: men prefer physical conflict and women prefer emotional growth and social conflict. Whereas so women will like this is why women like romances, which is also supported by another study by the Romance Writers of America or Romance Readers of America. I forget which one, but they commissioned a study. 80% of people who read romance are women, so they like that stuff. And I mean, it comes down to, if you're having a movie about someone dying of cancer and then the boyfriend or the girlfriend is caring for them the entire movie, and the whole conflict is about making their last few days a wonderful experience, you would sell that to, what would you sell that to, men or women? It's probably going to be a women's majority audience movie. What you want is action for men. You want action and conquest. That's a big thing for men. Conquest, gathering resources and protecting your loved ones. That one is something that men like, which is why when it's male-centric media, it tends to end in a competition of some sort. Sports media, shonen anime kind of tends to end with a battle, that sort of thing. So yeah, and if you look at what women tend to like, those like Twilight is a major one that still is resonant today. It's like they instantly fall in love with the girl, right? This oh, she's so great. You're my own personal brand of heroin. So yeah, I also mentioned that too, where it's like, yeah, they begin with a bunch of value. Like they don't have to earn the man's attention. They just get it. So you're right about that one as well.
And I want to highlight Emmanuel Soros's comment.
Let's see.
Yeah, that one. It's almost like women just are men and men must become the man you want to be. Crazy, right? So with us being two dudes discussing this, it can easily come across as being condescending to the other side of the spectrum. But like, I don't necessarily find value in what most women find value in media, but I don't want to knock it. Like, if that's what they like, that's what they like. It's just frustrating because a lot of people in modern times try to apply that to men's media as if it's going to work the exact same way. And then they'll market it to females and make fun of the males. And then it completely bombs. And their strategy is just to blame it on the guys who didn't go see it. It's like, you didn't market it to us.
Yeah, first of all, did you see? Have you ever seen that the comparison with it's like a Charlie's Angel reboot did a long time ago, where the article before the movie came out is this is not for men. Men are disinvited from watching it, and then afterwards, after it bombed, it's like, why didn't men? The sexist reason why men didn't go watch this movie. You disinvited us from watching this movie.
It's one of the more famous examples, and the reason I wanted to highlight Emmanuel's comment is because that mentality of men must become who they are and women just are. A lot of times nowadays that's said with spite because people take advantage of that mentality. They don't, and some people don't want to admit it. But there was a time where everyone was perfectly happy with that being the reality, that men earn becoming men and that women want to have intrinsic value. A lot of people were happy with that. But nowadays there's so much animosity about it from both sides. one side doesn't like the accusation, the other side doesn't like the reality of it, just because it's been taken advantage of.
Oh, absolutely. It's a big issue. I mean, everyone was so much happier when everyone understood that and embraced that concept. It's kind of why it's usually men in the stories revolving around the hero's journey. It's usually men. It doesn't have to be, but it usually is. And usually the woman is the prize, and that's everyone liked that arrangement. And one of the most archetypical stories is the knight who slays the dragon to save the princess. That encompasses all fantasies. The knight the man becomes a knight because you have to go through training and everything. He can slay a dragon, which is awesome, and then also the princess gets to marry the knight. She doesn't have to; she gets to, because this man can slay a dragon and could save her life. Usually what happens. So, but the twist is there. I use that archetypical story often because the twist of modern day's perspective is, oh, the knight comes in, slays the dragon, and forces the princess to marry him, and it kind of highlights the distortion and corruption that modern day media has fallen to. That it's the things that used to be pleasant rewards are now seen as negative, just corrupted, negative, and bad. All those things. So it does really show that. And it was the resentful nature of it. How come we don't get to be heroes, sort of thing? But women do get to be heroes. They do. It's just not the same way that men do.
And there's an interesting way to tell that story, like early season Game of Thrones. They tell that story of how in that society, women don't have the same roles, power dynamics as men, but they can still use the powers that they do have to accomplish the things they want, both for good and for evil. Like, there are interesting ways to tell that story. It's just all the modern day media wants to take shortcuts, replace man with woman, and keep the arrogance of any man that we think about, when that's not what makes men great. The arrogance is not what makes the man great. Sometimes the arrogance is fun to watch and can be funny and whatnot, but that's not what makes them great.
Usually it's a flaw. Like the arrogance and all that, like what men have usually is a flaw. But if they have the skill set to back it up, it's acceptable. It's usually we can tolerate that flaw, but it is a flaw. Like one of my favorite shows I used to watch is House, and he's he will even describe himself as a jerk, as a just unrepentant, just little asshole essentially. But he would call himself that. However, he's also has this humanity behind all of that, kind of hiding behind his standoffish persona, and he's really good at what he does. And so people kind of tend to tolerate it, but it is a flaw. It does kind of stand people off. It does drive people away. It does make them lonely and miserable at the end of the day. So it is a flaw. But the modern day writing is, oh, this is what men are. Men are arrogant and boastful and jerks. Because that's how a lot of feminist writers tend to see men.
People will forgive arrogance if it comes with skill. Sometimes they'll forgive it if it comes with good looks as well. But arrogance can override good looks. But when it comes with skill, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? They are as good as they say they are.
That's kind of what happens with artists. Like if the artist is really good, it's like, oh, they can tolerate a lot of arrogance in the art world. And see, Dave Musselman says, "Good morning, LD and Shady and Best Chat. What nonsense is this?" Good morning to David Musselman. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh yeah, Seto Kaiba is arrogant. We get just everyone loves Seto Kaiba, but he is an arrogant guy, very arrogant.
And he gets shot down a lot. Like a lot of bad things happen to Kaiba in spite of his arrogance.
I do not envy the guy. Like if you look at like what happens to him, man, he's got the worst enemies. The worst enemies out there,
and he's still blatantly arrogant to their faces. But he's like constantly like he thinks he's the best, but he's constantly proven to not be the best by this little kid from this town who works in a game shop, or whose grandpa works in a game shop,
and he lives above the game shop. Like it's just, it doesn't even have the best grades. He's just really good at this one card game, and so the guy was like, "No, this cannot be." This cannot be. This cannot stand, Yugi. But then he's like he's the Kaiba has everything. Like he has the best grades. He's like an ace guy. He has a $1 billion company. He's like a world-renowned mogul in the gaming industry, but he just cannot stand that this random kid from Japan can beat him in a card game.
Because his arrogance won't let him. If he were humble, like he could be happy that he's got all this great stuff, that he's like a genius savant at technology. That was redundant. Savant at technology. He could be happy with himself, but his arrogance makes him not. And it's fun to watch because he is good at a lot of stuff. But at the same time, the show doesn't like stray away from this is not a good personality trait.
Yeah, because he's just like House. He's also kind of lonely, and he's also alone. He drives everyone off. The only person on his side really is Mokuba, his little brother. And even then, Mokuba has to put up with a lot of crap from Kaiba, especially. Aside from the numerous kidnappings. Let's see. But Ghost Ghost says, yeah, morning Shady and LD. Hello to you, Ghost Ghost. Kaiba is just parallel universe Joey Wheeler. Parallel universe? I guess like
I don't think I would describe him as that.
Like it's if he was the exact opposite, like if he's poor idiot, I guess. Even though I won't say Joey's an idiot. He's just kind of a foolish person. But when it comes down to it, he steps up. He's ready to go. He can pull off what he needs to pull off. So I think I watched a video a long time ago that kind of goes over this aspect, the arrogance aspect of men, what a man should be. And they use Aragorn as a really good example of what a good man should be. Because Aragorn is the epitome of what I kind of boil it down to. It's be nice until it's not time to be nice anymore. Because Aragorn is humble. He is brave. He's really nice to be. Like he can connect with people really well. He's very personable. But when it comes down to battle, he could take on like 500 or 600 super soldiers at the same time. It's pretty interesting.
He also has his limits with even the people on his side. He yells at Legolas when Legolas is talking down, like dying with his fellow men, and Aragorn is just like, then I'll die as one of them. Like that's what's gonna happen.
That's good. And it's like you think that he's because in today's perspective it's like the aggressor, if you have aggression, if you kind of get in someone's face, you're the bad guy. But not here. Like this, it's not always the case. It's always about why someone does something. And in that case, where it's like, I'll die as one of them, Legolas, it's like, it's bravery. I'm going to take a stand here. I can escape. I can leave right now. But the moral thing to do is to stand with these men and lend them my strength. And that's Aragorn. And I was, mark this off, chat. I'm going to mention it now. The Iron John, the book Iron John, by Robert Bly. He goes into this, and one of the things he covers is that masculinity is born in defiance. It really is. It's oddly enough, this is actually covered in Nolan's Odyssey. Like it's very blatantly done in that one, which is very strange because it was supposed to be like a feminist version of the Odyssey, I guess. But it's blatantly in there, where Penelope is like, don't go see Menelaus. All right, don't go. You're going to get killed on the road. I want you safe here. I already lost a husband. I don't want to lose a son. And Telemachus is like, no, I got to go and make sure. Like I got to go meet Menelaus and see what happened to my dad. If he knows anything what happened to Odysseus at Troy. That is a step of masculinity. The mother will never allow her son to grow up. It's kind of why a lot of neckbeards are around. If they don't have a father to like mold them into men, they will not become men. So it is part of that. So in the imagery from Iron John is a golden ball. And the golden ball is a man's bliss. It's like all the things that they love, that they need to have to be complete. And Iron John is like the wild man that represents wisdom. And at one point they capture Iron John and lock him in a cage, and because he's like the wilderness man covered in hair. And at one point the little boy, which represents a young man, loses his golden ball. Like this, the golden ball is a childhood bliss. It gets away from him, and Iron John takes it and takes it, and he's stuck in the cage. So the cage key is kept as was used by the father to lock Iron John within the cage. The key was then given to the mother, and the mother keeps it safe. And some might say, "Oh, the son can ask for the key." But the mother will never, ever voluntarily give the key to the son. The son must trick the mother, must go around the mother and seize the key to unlock his own masculinity. It's kind of what it symbolizes. So, in essence, a mother will not allow her son to become a masculine man. She will want him to stay in the nest. She wants him to stay safe, when really he must go off and venture on his own. It's also, on the other side, reads into the hero's journey with the reconciliation with the father, and of course, if there's reconciliation, there must be conflict, and the reason for that is a son must also venture away from the father. So you have all these movies, right? We've seen these movies, these stories where the son is like, I'm in my father's company, I'm taking over for my father, or something like that, and the son always seems to resent this position. It's because, yes, this might be the easier road, this might be the road that my dad wants me to walk down, but it's not my road. And usually that's what happens. It's always this conflict with the father of like, okay, I'm in his shadow, I need to make my own moves. Sometimes this comes out as aggression, and sometimes this comes out as just of laziness. Like, my dad will always take care of me. So essentially what usually tends to happen is a son will have to find his own way, even if it's a lesser way. Like, he'll struggle more, he won't be as wealthy or well off, but it is his own way. And usually this does cause conflict with the father. Like, hey, why aren't you following in my footsteps? Why are you going your own way? Monty Python did a whole skit about this, with they reversed the trope, but the trope is the coal miner's son and the writer's dad. Usually it's the coal miner dad and the writer's son, but they go their opposite ways. They go down their own roads, because the son must always find his own path away from the mother and sometimes away from the father. And as the son grows, he will reconcile with the father on various levels. So it's very psychological. It's very interesting, and we kind of see it kind of emerge in today's media.
And just a quick add-on, in the masculinity is defined by defiance, or brought on by defiance. Like any personality trait or aspect, there is a limit to it.
Oh yeah.
Some people don't like when I say this, but it is the truth. I do believe in quote unquote toxic masculinity. I just hate how feminists define it, because I believe all personality traits can be brought to some extreme. And an example, it would be the movie The Last Ride. It was supposed to be a very masculine movie about dads who want to be there for their daughters. And in that movie, it's an okay movie. It's not an awful movie or anything.
I've not seen it, but sounds interesting.
In that movie, the main character, he's trying to do something dangerous for his grandson who has cancer, and he wants to pay for the cancer. And the thing he refuses to do, because the movie wants him to be ultra masculine, is tell people his grandson has cancer, because he knows they will help him. And he doesn't want to. I'm like, dude, the goal here is to heal your grandson. Like, it's not to be macho masculine.
Yeah,
like,
just the pride taking over.
He knows a lot. He knows in the movie, he knows a couple of rich people, but he's tunnel visioned on earning the money the way he's already set in his mind to earn the money. I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, because that's pride. If the goal is to help his grandson, it's pride that's holding him back from that goal at that point. Yeah. I often use, but yes, you can go to extremes with all of this. In fact, young men usually do go to this extreme, because young men usually want to go their own way, and it's like very, very, very volatile usually. You have to use the example of not Fight Club itself, but how some young men kind of view the figure of Tyler Durden, where it's like, oh, he's super cool and awesome, and he doesn't care about anything. He's a super cool dude, and he doesn't let anything bother him. He's always confident. Yes, this is very true. He's always confident, but it's not because he doesn't care about anything. And it's like that. That's people kind of take that to extreme. That's kind of a '90s thing, like be cool, man. Don't care about anything. Everything sucks, that sort of thing. But it's not it. And I've said this before, where it's like, it's a man shouldn't care about should care about things. He should care about stuff, but a select few things that are very important to him. What some people will go to the as far as is like, I don't care about anything, which is not the purpose. It's not the purpose at all. This is kind of why the hero's journey is so important, because a big portion of it is training, is the main character evolving and learning about themselves and encountering problems and overcoming obstacles, and essentially going from an immature person to being reforged as the hero, or in this case, a mature person. And over the course of the journey, when they're training and learning and developing themselves, they will have these flaws. They'll face these flaws down, and they will kind of like overcome some misconceptions. Like I could see like a young man having the misconception that a masculine man needs to always be aggro. You know, it's the like in 90s wrestling. Every man is like always angry and aggressive, which is not the case. Again, it's like be nice until it's time to not be nice anymore. It's about control. It's about having the wisdom to know when to act and when not to act, when to let things go and when to step in.
Quote from Teen Titans: having that thing inside you doesn't make you a monster. Knowing when to let it out is what makes you a man.
Exactly. See, Teen Titans was really good. It's unfortunate that they cut it off so early. It was really good. It was a really good show. My favorite.
I mean, 4 seasons is a pretty good run for a show, but I believe they had a 5th one in them because I think they wanted to make.
Yeah.
Or what was it? 5 seasons? I might be misremembering. If it was 5 seasons, that's even a better run. It's just they ended on a cliffhanger, which is why everyone's so upset.
The worst cliffhanger they could possibly have left it on.
Slight correction to what I said earlier. The movie is called The Last Rodeo, not The Last.
Oh, okay. Last Rodeo. Okay. I still haven't seen it, but it does sound very interesting. Although, yeah, it's like the whole pride thing. I want to help my grandson, but I don't want rich people to help me. I got to do it myself, which seems kind of detrimental to the grandson.
He in the movie, he does get people to help him. Just he doesn't tell them about the cancer itself. He's like, I need you to get me in this rodeo show, and I need you to do it now. It's like, just this guy is filthy rich. Ask him to get you another job. Like the dude even offers him another job about like signing autographs and stuff because they're on a tour. It's a whole thing. But he's like, I need to be in the rodeo and win the money. I'm like,
but why? For what reason? Well, just for reasons. Rodeos are cool, I guess. Let's see, but there's some things. This is one of the most annoying things I've seen about modern day media. And the thing is, despite the reputation, I do like a lot of things for the most part. It's just that the reason why I can get so upset with modern day media or have such animosity towards it is because they kind of teach the wrong lessons. So I know you did a video recently about Superman versus the Elite, and in that movie, what's his name, Manchester Black goes, "You're living in a dream world," and then Superman goes, "Yes, he's like, I've lived that dream. My dream is to have a better tomorrow." And I always kind of contrast that with something that Zack Snyder said. Because he had the opposite reaction. He's like, if you think that this is going to superheroes should be good people or are not messed up in some way, then you're living in a dream world. Like that's kind of a weird parallel. Have you seen that thing from Zack Snyder? Because people are like,
I have not. I have so much beef with Snyder because of the Man of Steel DCEU fiasco.
Yeah.
I hate Man of Steel. I honestly need to rewatch it to make sure my hate is valid because maybe I've mellowed out over the years. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember.
No, it's valid.
But I hate Man of Steel because I feel like it's a complete character assassination of Superman and John Kent. And it's such a cynic. It's not Superman. That's not Superman. That's a dude with Superman's powers and his costume on, claiming to be Superman. It is so frustrating. And yeah, superheroes are supposed to be like dream world. Like I don't mind if there are heroes who are more realistic, who are more grounded. I don't mind them existing. it's just that's not the epitome of superheroes. They're supposed to inspire people to be better than themselves. And yes, that can be boring if you don't write it correctly. And admittedly, people have messed up when writing Superman like that. Superman the animated series is probably the worst of the DC animated universe. Like it's not a bad show, but of all the Timverse shows, it's probably the worst one because it kind of has that feel to it where Superman can just do anything. Yeah, it can be a little boring to if you don't write it correctly. But when you write it well, you get things like Under the Red Hood or what we were just talking about, Superman versus the Elite, where people get inspired to be better versions of themselves. And that's what superheroes are supposed to do. There's this this YouTuber, I don't know if he still uploads anymore, but it's just some random guy, I think is his name. He did a video. He used to do superhero videos, and he did one of Superman, and it has stuck with me to this day because it talks about how the difference between DC and Marvel is that DC are heroes you're supposed to look up to, while Marvel heroes are heroes you're supposed to look forward at. And it's a tale about Superman. He struggles with that concept because he's like, I don't think I inspire people anymore because of all these grounded heroes who they can look towards and be more like them. And Lex Luthor says something so profound in this video. He says, no one wants to look up to you anymore, Superman. They don't want to strain their necks. And I felt that in my soul. So it's like so many people feel that way. Like they want to
so high up. Yeah, just,
not
how could I reach this height? You know? Was just some guy? I'm pretty sure it was just some guy.
It's either it's just some guy or it's just some person. I think it's just some random guy or it's just some random person. I think it's just some random guy.
Okay. By the way, I found someone made this. I've never seen this, but someone made this excellent clip because it's so fitting. It's here, Zack Snyder, but his quote is in here.
My heroes are still innocent. My heroes didn't fucking lie to America. My heroes didn't fucking commit any atrocities. I'm like, that's cool, but you're living in a fucking dream world.
Good.
That's his literal quote. He actually said that.
That's a great edit.
It's a really good edit because I'm not the only one that made that parallel. I guess, like, yeah, they both said the same thing: living in a dream world. And Superman, Chad yeses, yes. It's like I think it was like it might have been just some guy which I also streamed with before. Yeah, I think he did some videos on that where he would either way, that is a really insightful thing. That's why I always like DC heroes more than I like Marvel's, because they are these paragons, these icons of justice and like a higher standard of what a hero should be. They kind of champion that ideal. Especially Superman. I have like an hour-long video about Superman for that reason, because he's so awesome. That's why he's like the even though Marvel might be more popular, Superman is the most popular superhero. At least he was last time I checked a few years ago.
I would more so describe as iconic, but go on.
Yeah, he's iconic because whenever if someone wants to do like a superhero parody, they're parodying Superman. He's like the most iconic image of what a superhero is. It's why you have Homelander. It's why you have Omni-Man. Like it's why you have I don't know if you've seen Dr. Horrible's sing along. It's Captain Hammer as this is Superman kind of rip off kind of guy.
No,
drawn together. We have Captain Hero, who's just Superman but in shorts and insane. But yeah, it's if you want to just quickly like have a short cut to say this guy's a superhero, you kind of give him a vaguely Superman look. So he is the most iconic. He is the face of the entire superhero genre. Yeah, so it does make sense that he's also the most aspirational and probably the one who is most difficult to look up to because you'll strain your neck.
Because your Death Battle said it best. You're not supposed to relate to him. Like that's not the point. You're not ever supposed to reach the heights of Superman. The point is trying. It's very similar to how Jesus Christ is in Christianity. It's like you're never supposed to be that perfect. The point is the example is there for you to try.
And you want to walk that road. The idea of you reach for the moon, you'll land among the stars. You'll probably never be this level of perfect, this level of this level of strength, but it's something to try to achieve. This is the right road to walk, and Superman kind of shows you that way. Absolutely. So this is also why I just really dislike Zack Snyder's stuff, because that's his mentality. It's like, okay, well, superheroes would actually commit atrocities, and they're not innocent. They're all like messed up and weird and psychotic, which is something that you kind of run into when you look into Batman today, anyway. Where they kind of like they'd like to see Batman as like this dark, psychotic person. When he's, I guess maybe there's an argument to say there to have that be the case. And if some version of Batman, it does work, but really he's not really supposed to be that level of dark. We don't really need that. He's also an aspirational character. At least he's become one over the years.
Batman is like I like the Justice League animated series Batman, where he's a bit grumpy, and I like the Nolan one where he's a bit more darker than you might assume. If you've watched Batman the animated series, Batman is not really dark until season 3 when they changed the show title twice. He's actually Bruce Wayne is a super nice guy, and growing up, like my dad used to say, "Oh, Bruce Wayne is the mask," and he is the mask. Bruce Wayne is the mask. But in Batman the animated series, Bruce Wayne is a part of Batman that doesn't get shown to when he's Batman. And he loves helping charities. He loves helping people. And I like that aspect about Bruce Wayne when, like, Batman is super ninja dark guy, and then Bruce Wayne comes out and he's the nicest guy in the world. I know Nolan tried to make Bruce like this selfish jerk because he didn't want people to know he's Batman. I think that take is kind of fine, as long as deep down Batman is still a guy who wants to help the innocent. He wants to prevent the suffering of the innocent. And a lot of times, the DC animated universe version, he had that famous line about being vengeance. And it's like, no, that's if you know Batman, that's actually not what he's about. He just likes to posture sometimes.
That's probably a line from like his original, a perspective from his original creation, where he's like really a spin-off of the Shadow kind of thing. But yeah, he's not vengeance. He's justice. He really wants. I mean, he probably has an anger within him. That's why I see it as. So, Carl Jung has a concept of the shadow. At least he kind of wrote about it. Robert Bly also has a whole book about the shadow, and the shadow is your evil part of yourself, and that's kind of what superheroes tend to contend with. Batman definitely contends with this all the time, and Superman does this as well. I forgot which movie it was where he's fighting Darkseid. He's like, I live in this world of glass. And
that's Justice League, Justice League Unlimited final episode animated series.
That's what it was. Yeah. But that kind of sums up his temptation all the way because he's powerful, and he knows he's powerful. And he's always tempted to use that power to just end threats and just kind of like just take over the world or whatever. So, but he doesn't, because that's the kind of guy he is. He's not that kind of conqueror. He's not an evil person. He's not really all that ambitious in terms of what kind of influence I have. He's a guy who just wants to help people. He's a good person. And at the end of the day, it's all about his control. And that's kind of I forgot who said this, but someone said that Superman is supposed to be like a normal guy, but where everything that's mundane is ramped up to 11. Like if his in-laws are coming to visit, it's not just any in-laws or cousins. It's like super interdimensional beast or something.
That's a good way to describe it, actually, because he's a farm boy from a small town, and his parents instilled in him good neighborly, be a good neighbor, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. He's got these good ethics that he kind of forge his iconic morality system. And so when he says like, I live in a world of glass, it's like, yes, this is exactly what he kind of contends with every day. And on the temptation, like he could just kill Lex Luthor, but he knows that's wrong. He shouldn't do it.
Chat is
So,
being very persnickety.
Kevin?
It's cardboard, not glass.
Oh, it's cardboard. Yeah, it's I don't know why with the glass, but yeah, so it's world of cardboard. So everything he touches can just break instantly in his grasp. Let's see. He says that Adam West was the closest to Batman was originally supposed to be, a ray of hope in the abyss that is Gotham. That is why he's called the Dark Knight. Yeah, he's supposed to be like the one shining light in this as walking into the abyss. But I do like Adam West Batman. It's a lot of fun. They kind of answer a lot of questions. It's like, okay, why? How come they can arrest bad guys? Oh, well, he's a deputized officer of the law. He also does defensive driving classes, I guess, and also he the reason why bad guys are on the streets all the time is because of progressive policies, quote unquote progressive policies. So they kind of answer a lot of questions in that show. That dark, serious Batman is kind of lets go. And like, oh yeah, dark, serious Batman has all the bad guys as kind of as escape every 5 minutes. And why? How come they can arrest bad? How come every time he takes on a bad guy, they kind of go to jail? Because it's just how it works. Stop asking questions. So it's kind of funny that this goofy Batman answers these questions, but dark, serious Batman does not. Let's see here, chat. All right. Adam West was great, but way too campy. It is very campy. It is very campy. Very campy indeed. This is I remember. Have you seen the reboots? Like they did 2 animated movies about Adam West Batman, which are kind of funny.
If you like campy but not too campy, that would be Batman Brave and the Bold. A lot of people said that's the perfect level of campy, and I'm still watching it because I suck at binge watching. I've been binge watching it for like 2 years now. But yeah, that's pretty much the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, it's just, people have been saying that to me too. I just didn't start it, but I heard it was really good, like really good.
It is, yeah. If it's got like it takes everything about being a superhero seriously. Like Justice League the animated series, the Timverse, took superheroing seriously, but it removed a lot of the campiness of being a superhero. Batman Brave and the Bold even takes the campiness of superheroes seriously.
Well, that kind of seems like right up my alley. Because I think superheroes need to be a little bit goofy, at least a little bit. I think the more serious we became with superheroes, the worse things have gotten. Because it's not always about seriousness and everything's dire. Sometimes it can be pretty funny. Because it can be pretty funny sometimes. Like even Batman the animated series, which they said was like, oh, it's the darkest Batman we could do. We had remember that whole episode where they talked. There's this villains playing cards, talking about the time they almost got him.
I almost got him. Yeah,
I almost got him. I think the episode is called. I think literally, and Killer Croc's like, "Well, it was a big rock," and everyone just bought it because like that's something dumb he would say. But it's like they all had this story. It's kind of funny and amusing to see these villains go, "Hey, here's the time I almost got Batman." It's funny. It's campy. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, with that version of Joker, there are a lot of silly moments.
Yeah, with that
even like when he's being dark, he can be very silly when he's being dark. And Harley Quinn as well. Harley Quinn is like she's probably got more silly moments than Joker.
Oh yeah, and she's like a really good character in Batman the Animated Series, like an actually good character.
Yeah, well, she was the first one, and people liked her so much they canonized her,
and then made her worse.
I can't attest to that because I've never seen a Harley outside of that one.
Okay. Well, good. I envy you. I was like, what have they done to you?
Except for the Injustice games. That's what I've seen Harley.
Oh yeah, Injustice. I kind of like. I actually know Mike Miller, who actually did the arts on the Injustice comics. I think he was the one that famously did the whole scene where Superman punches the Joker and kills him. It was pretty cool. But I had the chance to talk with him as well when Game of Thrones came out because he also did the comic book version of Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. It was pretty fun. And I really, really... Did you see Knights of the Seven Kingdoms?
No.
That was so refreshing. So refreshing. I was ready for some, here's Game of Thrones. Here's more bad things happening. But no, it was awesome. And I recommend it. I recommend if you're tired of all this dour, sour crap, Everything must suck. Everything must be serious, and all our heroes are bad. And then Seven Kingdoms is the opposite. I was surprised. This is George R. R. Martin. He wrote this because it really is about a good person, a good guy. This out of this hedge knight, no great family, just a guy from nowhere. All he does is walk into the world of nobles and politics with a good heart and an earnest nature and bravery, and he just changes the world essentially. From this tournament, it's really good stuff.
I meant to watch it, but I forgot to.
I think if you want to give it a shot, I recommend at least watching the first couple episodes. I mean, there's some crass stuff in there that people said, we don't really need that, and we didn't. But some of it's kind of funny. Like the first episode has him just take a poop. It just shoots out of his butt. I was like, I don't know why they had to have that in there, but I guess they have to remind us that this is an HBO show and it is Game of Thrones. But the main story is pretty good. However, I did the comic books. There are comic books of it, and it doesn't have that stuff in there. So you want to go with the comic books, it's completely understandable. I also read the comic books. So, but it's a really good story. Really wholesome story overall too. David Musselman, thanks for the $20 super chat. Very, very generous, David Musselman. Where's the right clip here? Thank you very much. David Musselman says Zack Snyder can make a good movie, Watchmen, and 300 because it's his wheelhouse. Kind of like James Gunn he's really good at making misfits that are morally ambiguous, but not so much making a traditional superhero universe. Well, I did like a Superman movie as a fun comic booky movie. I don't think it was a really good first superhero movie in a new universe. It was very cluttered.
Agreed. I was not a fan of James Gunn's Superman. I prefer it over Man of Steel, but like objectively as movies, I couldn't tell you which one's better. But as Superman movies, Gunn at least tries to do Superman. Man of Steel doesn't try to do Superman. It tries to give somebody Superman powers
and hand him to a psycho. But the moment the James Gunn version won me over is like when he says goodness is the new punk rock, and which is true. It kind of is today. Like having a completely good earnest superhero or hero in general is pretty punk rock today. In this era Zack Snyder forged for us. In the era of The Boys. Now, The Boys, TV show, it's like, man, this is gross. But the comic books are fun. If you read the comic books, The Boys, it really is just Garth Ennis. First of all, it's about Garth Ennis, so you know what you're getting into. But it's really just Garth Ennis having fun. I kind of imagine like it's if writers get around the writing room and start pitching ideas and having fun, making crazy, wild stories. That's kind of The Boys is his. It's clearly just him having crazy fun. The show took it way too seriously, I think. Let's see, but yeah, Watchmen 300. Zack Snyder was really good there because the stories were written for him. As long as Zack Snyder doesn't do any creative work, he's really good. He could be all right. Also, the Watchmen was kind of like a subversion on the traditional superhero, and 300 was just violent fun. So that's kind of up his alley. This violent fun by Frank Miller. But Watchmen was interesting because of its origins, and where it's like Alan Moore's like, hey, hello there, DC. I see you have new heroes on your roster. I would like to use them, please. And DC was like, hey, this is a great story, Alan Moore, but you can't use our stuff. You got to go on your own. I'd like to write the Who Killed Peacemaker. Good. You just can't use our characters. And then he made Watchmen. And it really is a story of what was that story with the chicken is like goes to help wants help from everyone to help make this cake, and everyone says no until the cake is done. That's kind of the story of Watchmen. And once the cake is done, everyone wants a slice, but they don't want to help make the cake. 300 was cool because it was 300. Frank Miller. That was like one of Frank Miller's peak before he went crazy. Which I think people said Frank Miller went crazy around the time of Sin City. Sin City is really good. I read the whole saga. I liked it quite a bit. But I think people kind of clocked it as that really changed him. And he was never the same after that. Broken people that want good on their terms, not the righteous ones doing good always. Chris Reeves had a good quote for Superman, but yeah, I like that quote by Christopher Reeves, where he's like, who is Superman? And he's like, at the very base line of his character, Superman is a friend. And I think that's kind of the essence of what the character should be in his portrayal. That he's supposed to be a good friend, someone you can rely on, someone that'll help you out when you're down. And we have that famous scene from All-Star Superman where he's like helping that girl from committing suicide, helping her down from the building and stopping her from ending it all. And it's precisely why Zack Snyder Superman is so terrible, because I wouldn't call that guy a friend.
I don't think friend is a bad description. I always use good neighbor as the epitome.
Oh yeah,
because he's always like, he does stuff, but he sees something wrong and he comes over like a good neighbor and says, "Hey, I noticed this thing is wrong. I could help you out with it."
Yeah, Superman is the guy that'll help you move. He'll help you like just, oh, what's going on over here? You need some help with that? Let me fix your sink and that sort of thing.
And he'll gladly do it. It gives him joy to do it.
Yeah, because that's just kind of the guy he is. He finds value in helping others. He feels good about it. And that's why he's such the iconic superhero, because he kind of represents everything a superhero should be. He doesn't begrudgingly help people. He's like, oh, I gotta go save more people. He loves doing it. And this is kind of why I actually made a video about what I like about My Adventures of Superman. It was that specific element, was that they brought back, after Zack Snyder's Superman, I was like, they brought back good Clark Kent, good Superman. He's kind. He's bringing donuts on his first day of work to his workers, to his co-workers and everything. Like, he's just considerate. There's like he goes into this one store and the lady already knows him because he comes around just to help her, just to fix her stuff and make sure that her store is running nicely, because that's just the kind of guy he is. I like that version of Clark Kent, that version of Superman. It's very refreshing to see a good-natured man come back. And I think it's very important for young men to see, is a good-natured man, just a good, centered, masculine man, just go about his business. Dr. Imori IV, thanks for the 15 shekels, says it's explained that in Batman universe, powerful people keep criminals alive because they're too useful. Yeah, because in the Batman universe, Gotham is so corrupt that a figure like Batman is necessary. It's outside the law. There's no justice to be found. If you let the system work as is, there is no hope for its recovery. It is so corrupt. So you need a man outside that unjust system to actually start making pathways, to start helping people out, start breaking down the system that has become so corrupt. That's kind of why you need Batman and James Gordon, because James Gordon can work from within. And I kind of remember that quote from The Killing Joke, where Batman is going off to go get the Joker after all the horrible crap that he's done. And then James Gordon, even after all the things he's endured that day, his daughter being paralyzed, him going through psychological torture, is like, no, Batman, you got to do it by the book, right? You got to take him down by the book. He has to know that our way works. That's kind of the essence of what the goal is, that it can't just be violence. It can't just be this endless war. It has to be done a certain way so that the city can see this example and eventually heal. Very important for Batman. Let's see. All right, but yeah, this is this whole thing here with the Superman versus the Elite. The Zack Snyder saying you're living in a dream world if you think superheroes need to be good people was just insane. But it does answer quite a few questions.
I mean, he's right. It's just phrasing it like it's a bad thing.
Yeah,
exactly as Superman says. Good.
Yeah, good. I'm glad they're innocent. I'm glad they don't commit atrocities. Did you hear the thing about Zack Snyder wanting to have Batman raped in prison?
I did not hear that.
That was one of the things he wanted to have happen. Batman would be raped in prison, and he I think one of the original ideas he had for Justice League was that Bruce Wayne would get with Lois Lane to have a baby, and then that would cause some issues when Superman came back, obviously. So, like, what are these ideas, Zack Snyder? What the hell are you doing?
That was Superman Returns, or it was kind of Superman Returns. You know, the kid was actually Clark's, but
Yeah. But in this case, it would just be Batman's, I guess. I think that was one of his ideas. But I was like, how in the world would Batman be raped in prison? I don't like, even if he's just Bruce Wayne, he's still Batman. I don't think he'll allow that to happen to himself.
no, that's not good. I'm thinking of, my brain immediately goes to Shawshank Redemption, and I'm like, I can see why you would want a scene like that, because in Shawshank Redemption, it's a really powerful scene because it punches you with, this is not a fantasy, this is a
Right.
real life situation. But you don't want to mix that with superheroes, which are meant to be fantastical. I mean, you can. There's a way you could do it, but if your instinct is to immediately do that, I start raising eyebrows.
It's like, okay, he just wants to like tear these things down. It's just well, I guess it's because Zack Snyder is obviously a big fan of Frank Miller, and Frank Miller is known for bringing superheroes down to this gritty, dark level, especially with his run on Daredevil and Dark Knight Returns, which is really good. Dark Knight Returns is really good, but it's not. It's a very dark rendition of Batman, where like he quits and Gotham just goes back to the same old corrupted nature that it always has been, until he comes back into play. And it's a really good story. I like the story of Dark Knight Returns, but it's like, I don't think I think Zack Snyder's taking it way too far, because even old man Batman wouldn't allow himself to be raped in prison.
There's also this concept of, oh, we're doing a different version. If you don't like it, you can always go back to your version. That mentality works more when you know your story is going to be like a side thing. Like I love Superman Red Sun. It's not the official Superman. It's in its own little pocket thing. It doesn't intrude on the official Superman. Yeah, it's a what if kind of deal.
Yeah.
But when you have the power to make like a cinematic universe, and like, you know, people are going to be looking at your movie as the current definitive version of that thing, I think it's important you get some of the core aspects correct and not deviate from those core aspects. It's much different if you're making your own side thing.
Absolutely. This is like a test story. And that's kind of what Dark Knight Returns kind of is. This is like a hypothetical. Like, what if Batman got old and retired? And then, you know, Gotham fell back into its old ways and became more corrupt than it always had been. What if, you know, he has to come out of retirement? It's a really interesting story. I like the way it went. I think that's kind of where Frank Miller had the whole idea that Joker is gay for Batman. Like Joker is very flamboyant. I think he wears high heels and puts on lipstick. That's why his lips are red. But so he does have a really interesting take on some of these villains as well. But it's again, you can, like, Dark Knight Returns is kind of like a what if. Also, it's not necessarily like the canonical end of Batman, because we also have Batman Beyond, which is completely different than Dark Knight Returns. And people I think Batman Beyond became like the canonical trajectory of Batman's universe in a lot of ways.
The Timverse, yeah. Not necessarily the comics. I don't think Terry exists in the comics. Well, the entire Timverse technically exists in the comics. It's a separate universe. But in the canon universe, I don't think Terry exists. The official Batman Beyond, I believe, is what's his name? Tim. Very later down the line, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah. But I did like the concept of I remember Batman Beyond coming out when it was first being pitched. It was really interesting. Like, oh, that's really cool. Like the idea there's going to be a successor to Batman, and it's like the Batman animated series Batman. I did like that concept, but yeah, that Dark Knight Returns very different. I'm not sure if have you read Dark Knight Returns or seen the animated movie?
No.
Okay.
If I have, I don't remember it. I might have seen it.
It's very dark and it's very Frank Miller. He comes out of retirement. It's the Robin in that one is Carrie Kelly, who's like a girl. So we get Girl Robin in that one. And Frank Miller has this weird thing about Batman where he has this like psychotic crusade. Like he's like he calls Carrie Kelly his soldier, like good soldier. So like Frank Miller's Batman is very like dedicated to the mission, where Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne is not. He's just kind of a normal guy that's kind of become very cynical over the years.
Batman Beyond's Bruce Wayne was he recognized he couldn't do it anymore without crossing lines. And so he felt he had to give up the cape or he would become essentially in his brain a supervillain. So he had to give it up, which means he can only do things as Bruce Wayne. And then at the point where Batman Beyond starts, he thinks everything is fine with Wayne Enterprises, and Terry comes in and proves otherwise. And so he feels he has to step back into the light as Bruce Wayne, and then Terry can step back into the light as Batman so they can continue.
Absolutely. And it kind of harkens back to the Under the Red Hood, which you'd mentioned earlier, where he's like, why didn't you kill Joker, Batman? I mean, for me, right? Why didn't you kill him for me? And I'm like, it even goes on to say, like, I'm not talking about killing Riddler or Scarecrow, just Joker. And then Batman has that comeback where he kind of says that, where it's like, if I cross that line even once, I won't come back. I will become a villain, because it gets, the first time you do it once and it gets easier and it gets easier.
Mm.
So I can see that definitely being the case in all versions of Batman. Like he has this power that he definitely has the capability of killing all these guys, killing all these bad guys, but he doesn't want to utilize it to that extent, because he knows once he does it once, he's going to be able to justify doing it more and more and more and more and more. And one of those I think contentious moments of his was what's it called, the contingency, like the contingency thing, where he had like a plan to take down everybody in the Justice League just in case they turn evil, which is, the superhero universe is pretty reasonable. That's a pretty reasonable thing to have. But it's also that mentality. It kind of reaches into that idea of Batman really can outmaneuver so many people. He really can go to that dark place and even contemplate taking down his friends. So you can kind of see why you would have that blockage, that mental block of like, there's some lines I literally cannot cross, because if I do, the shadow within him will just keep nagging at it and go, hey, you killed the Joker, you killed this guy, why not just do it here? You mean you already done it once? You could do it again. And with Batman and his roster of Rogues Gallery villains, the one, at least how they've become recently, is like, if you kill this Rogues Gallery member, you kill the Scarecrow, kill the Riddler, kill the Joker, you're going to be saving countless lives in the future, because they are repeat offenders. They escape constantly, and not only are they killers, they delight in killing.
Mm.
So Batman crossing that line once, I mean, what's to stop him from just becoming a mass murderer? What's stopping him from becoming the Punisher after that? Like literally almost nothing.
And Batman deals with Batman knows he's messed up psychologically, and deals, like the whole a running motif with Batman is that he deals with other people who are also messed up psychologically. And one of the most famous Batman quotes that Joker says is, all it takes is one bad day. He knows he could cross a line, and he tries so hard to prevent himself, because what stops him from becoming the thing he's fighting?
Like just is the whole idea of he who fights monsters. He's also psychologically messed up, fighting a bunch of people who are very psychologically messed up, and it's like he needs something to differentiate himself. He needs something that will keep himself grounded, because it's so easy to lose yourself in all that darkness, especially for him. And that's kind of the thing that keeps him alive, keeps him like moral when he's down there in the nitty gritty, just fighting the horrors of Gotham. It's tough. And it's people will say that, oh, why does he have a no kill rule? Why don't you just kill the Joker? I think for Batman specifically, it's important that he does not cross the line even once. He can't.
It's also that Batman at his core wants justice. Like I said it before, he says he's about vengeance. He doesn't actually follow through on that. He's about justice, or a lot of versions of the character are about justice. Now, in Gotham, justice a lot of times means circumventing the system to bring the criminal to the authorities. But once they're like in the system, he doesn't want to go around the system and just like kill people, because that's inventing his own form of justice. And it's a new form of justice. He actually doesn't believe in it. It'll just be one that feels really, really good. So it's, if a criminal is sentenced to death, a lot of versions of Batman are not going to have a problem with that. It's just that he doesn't think vigilantes should take that into their own hands, because that's not bringing criminals to justice. That's just doing whatever you want.
And there has to be some rules, which is why I think he gets kind of like grounded by James Gordon, because he kind of like uses James Gordon as kind of a barometer, essentially. It's like, James Gordon, do it by the book, Batman. We need to take him down clean instead of murder and doing whatever you want.
Are you talking about Hush, the comic Hush?
Oh, it's been a while since I've thought about Hush, but I guess so. Yeah,
Hush is where I like see that in my brain, where he's like seconds away from killing Joker, because Joker just killed his best friend, or Bruce Wayne's best friend, and Gordon is right there watching Batman strangle him, and he's like, "Okay, fine. If you're gonna do it, I can't stop you, but we gotta be better. If you do this, bad things are gonna happen."
Yeah, because James Gordon he's not so. I like James Gordon written by Frank Miller as my favorite version of James Gordon, but it's all about how he is James Gordon is the most honest cop in Gotham, and he's trying to help the system, but he knows he can't really completely walk the line of righteousness. He has to kind of make friends with people like Batman. We see this in the Nolan verse as well, where the whole controversy with the third movie, which is my least favorite of three, but it has some good stuff in there. Where with the Dent Act, where they kind of push it through, and on false they kind of keep it alive by lying about Harvey Dent's death and stuff, and blaming all the murders on Batman, so that all these criminals will get off the streets. That's dishonest, that's deception. But he kind of had. But the thing is, at the end of the day, they all deserve to go to jail. The only reason why they wouldn't is because Harvey Dent became evil, but he didn't get them all on a dishonest measure. He didn't frame anybody. It's just that they all deserve to go to jail. Is that their lawyers were going to be able to get them all off, because suddenly the guy taking him to jail, the lawyer doing it, is evil. He became a criminal, a murderer. So it is really one of those ambiguous things, and it is something that James Gordon does have to do it from time to time. It's like, just stand by while you strangle the Joker. And there's a comic by Kevin Smith. What was it called? But it's like there's a moment in there where Joker is trying to kill Batman, or teams up with another villain to kill Batman, and it looks like it happened. It looks like it worked, but at the end, Joker is shot by this guy, and really all they have to do is let the Joker die, and the Joker will be dead. Batman does not have to kill him. Batman did not shoot him, and James Gordon comes in and says, "Just let him die, Batman. All we have to do is nothing, and just let him die." And Batman's like, "No, Jim, he's a crazy guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. I got to go save him." And at that point, sometimes I'm just like, "Really, Batman? Can you just let him die? Can you just let him die?"
Mm-hmm. So I can understand a Batman justifying not letting a Joker die, if he's already in the process. I can definitely understand that, but depending on how accurate your retelling of it is, like the justification of he's crazy, he doesn't know what he's doing. With Joker's history, it's like if he's so crazy, he's killed this many people, he kind of can't be in a civilized. I mean, I don't like to write people off as
Hopeless.
Hopeless. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't like to write people off as hopeless, but especially since we're talking about storytelling setting, we know the supervillain is going to go on to do more awful things.
Yeah, I can't stop. Let's see. I think here it is. I think I have it actually right here. And let me see. Bring this up. Here it is. It's called Batman Cacophony by Kevin Smith. And it's like they think, oh, I shot Batman in the head, but Batman has he faked him out. And then where is it? It's over here, and he's fighting him, and then he stabs the Joker.
Dude looks like Bullseye.
Yeah, he kind of does. I guess a bullseye look to him. I don't know. I haven't read the entire thing, but I found this part. And then he stabs the Joker, and he's like, "Hold on, I've got you." And then he's like, "Oh, it stings." And then the test. He wants to. It's a test. He wants to see what you'll do. So essentially, not only does he kind of turn away to tend to the Joker, he lets another killer get away in this particular scene. And then let's see, where is it? Yeah, James Gordon comes in, and Batman's like, I gotta save him. He nicked his heart, Jim, left ventricle, and he's like, he escaped. You're not going after him. I gotta deal with the Joker first. So he's letting the other guy escape so he can save the Joker's life. And even here, this is after the Killing Joke, where he's remembering all the crap that happened after he crippled his dog, crippled his daughter, after he killed a Robin and everything. He's like, "Are you crazy? Just let him die." just let him die. It's his fault. He's the one that got stabbed.
I mean, like I said, I can kind of see the logic, but especially he's letting another criminal get away.
Yeah,
I can't say I side with that decision, but I'm not going to act like it's completely black and white. He's trying to stand by a principle that he has.
It really is tough. It really is tough. It's like, what do you do if you're Batman? Is it really moral to stand around and let a person die, even if it is the Joker? It's kind of, I think it comes down to, sometimes it does come down to, what kind of superhero are you? Are you one that is dedicated to punishing evil or protecting lives? And in this case, okay, if you're saving the Joker's life, you're going to be dooming other people hypothetically.
Two ways, from the Joker and the other criminal. That's what's getting me. Letting the other criminal get away, it kind of pushes me. It very much pushes me over to say this was not the right thing to do. Because yes, the Joker dying, it kind of goes against a certain principle, but letting the Joker live is likely going to kill more people, and letting the criminal get away is also likely going to kill more people. So at least if you catch the criminal, you can say you prevented some lives, and your hands aren't necessarily stained. It's more of a tough choice than it would be Batman going against his principles. But again, would Batman just do that if it was just a regular guy? Absolutely not. He would save the regular guy.
Definitely save the guy, right? In fact, he would let a killer get away to save the guy's life, because hypothetically, Batman can maybe stop the next crime, and an innocent person will live. But in this case, it's the Joker, and he knows for a fact that if the Joker continues to live, he'll probably kill more people, a lot more people. So, with past experience, especially since this is after the Killing Joke specifically, he knows what kind of evil the Joker can pull off. And so it really is an interesting dilemma. I'm going to save the Joker. I can't, do you really let anyone die in front of you if you're Batman? It's very interesting. It's kind of but it's kind of the trolley problem, right? Where it's the idea is, if you pull the lever and save 10 lives, but you're dooming one, you're actively dooming one. This guy would have been alive tomorrow had it not been for your actions. But then do you let 10 people die? Do you stand by and let 10 people die?
It is kind of like a trolley, but it has the caveat of saving the one life also dooms other lives.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, let me let those 10 people die, and I'll let this guy live. But that guy will, once freed from from the tracks, will go off to go murder people.
Whereas if I guess it is. I guess it is pretty much a trolley problem because it's indirectly killing other people for the sake of one life. So yeah, I guess that is the caveat of the trolley problem in itself. I was trying to be like, oh, it's this is the obvious choice because so many people, but that's exactly what the trolley problem is. It's like, well, actually, no, because isn't doing nothing for the Joker, that would be killing the least amount of lives. Whereas in the trolley problem, doing nothing kills more lives.
Yeah,
Right?
it's very interesting.
Typically.
It's a very interesting dilemma, and especially here where like either one. So like James always says, you said in the past streams that you're not responsible if you do nothing in the trolley problem, which is it? Yeah, you're not. That's the idea. Is I mean, the utilitarian view is that you should intervene because the utilitarian view is how much potential happiness are you saving? So 10 people will have more potential happiness than one. So the utilitarian view would be to pull the lever and doom that one guy so that 10 may live, because the amount of potential happiness will be increased a lot. But really, if you want to look at it another way, the Kantian view would be to do nothing, because by pulling that lever, you are actively murdering somebody. So in that case, I would usually side with the Kantian view, which is you do nothing, because if you do something, you are a murderer.
Well, you are actively murdering someone, but you are also actively saving people. So if you don't pull the lever, you are choosing not to save people. So I would argue
the other side of it.
I would argue because a philosophy I believe in is the only way evil triumphs is that good men do nothing. If you can do something good and you choose not to, you are responsible for that good not getting done. Now, in this Batman case, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I would argue, yes, Batman is partially responsible for the Joker dying because he didn't save him, but I'm not going to say that's a bad thing.
Yeah, especially in this case, where it's like, so I would have Batman just let the Joker die. I would say just let him die, Batman. It's not because like the Batman should go off killing people, because that would be actively murdering people. Batman had no part really in the Joker's death here, because the Joker's choices led to the Joker ending up stabbed. And to me, that would be like, is it a superhero's responsibility to step in and save people from the consequences of their own actions? Like, I don't think so.
That's another take. Yeah. I said if you can do something, you're partially responsible. Not if other people have put themselves in that situation. Like if you tie yourself to a track and I don't save you, that's not my fault.
Yeah, it's just all that's on him.
There. That does make a big major difference.
Yeah, so it's like this very specific like instance, but like, yeah, you walk the road that led you here. You chose your choices that led you here, right? So it's kind of like it's okay if like say a supervillain does a big scheme that puts a lot of people in danger, and one of the people he puts in danger is another supervillain. It's like, okay, yeah, save him, because that supervillain is just there, not doing anything, minding his own business. He's just out and about. Just go ahead and save him, because it's like he's not his fault. And it's like everyone else there who's innocent, it's not their fault. Because I mean, if you're on the streets and you're saving like 100 people, some of those people might be bad guys. You don't know. Some of the people might be like wife beaters or like just embezzlers or scam artists. It doesn't really matter, because your whole identity as superheroes, you save people from crimes, you save people from danger. It doesn't matter who they are, technically speaking. It's that you save them. But if like you go into this mess and your actions purposely lead you to getting stabbed, like you're dealing with criminals, you're not only dealing with criminals, you're not only dealing with people who are psychotic and murdersome, and you end up getting stabbed, like that's kind of on you, right? It's kind of, you knew what you're getting into, you knew the risks.
The only exception I would, because it's kind of like doctors. Doctors have the Hippocratic oath. They have to help people, and they're not supposed to use their powers to hurt them. It's like, well, if a murderer comes in and needs help, the Hippocratic oath says you're supposed to help them. So superheroes kind of think like that. Specifically, superheroes on Batman's morality kind of think like that. But you know, when this is why I don't like absolutes, because I believe there are situations, very extreme situations, where you could justify breaking something like that. But I would never tell a doctor that.
Yeah,
I would never tell a doctor. There are times where you could break the Hippocratic Oath, even though I
let the
don't
guy
believe
die.
in extremes.
But yeah, I don't think if you're a superhero, you know, kind of like delivering justice, even the justice system is not blanketed. I mean, everyone should be equal under the law, but you don't get equal punishments. You get punishments that equal your crime, ideally. So it's like it's your punishment for being this evil Joker is that if you get stabbed, I'm gonna let you die. Especially if there's another criminal at hand. I got to go let you die to handle this criminal. I hear James is like, Gordon is like, just let him die, Batman. Hell, just let him die. He's like, do the right thing here for Gotham's sake, for your sake. Let him go. It's like sometimes it really does feel like Batman does not want to let Joker die because he's his favorite playmate. Sometimes it feels that way.
I mean, that's definitely true for Joker with Batman. Batman has said he actively wants to kill Joker. Like he just doesn't want to give into those dark thoughts.
Especially under the Red Hood, where he's like, I do want to torture and kill him, but I don't. And I don't think Batman should kill at all. Not one bit. I think that he really should keep true to his no kill rule.
I think he should try his hardest not to kill. Like if killing has to be the absolute only option, but he should strive not to. And because of Batman's, problem solving skills, virtually he should never come into a situation where he has to kill. Unless like Darkseid is standing in front of him and he has the Omega gun that can kill Darkseid. Exactly. Like, well, what else am I supposed to do in this situation?
I guess kill him.
Because I don't think he should necessarily prevent death. Like, that's why we have the justices. I hate the concept of killing in general, but I'm not so naive that I would say no one with authority should have the power to end someone's life. The justice system. Also, I am super paranoid. Chat, just reimburse me. Just let me know if you can hear me. I'm just super paranoid that I might be talking too low. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying because I got distracted by that.
Oh yeah, just the idea of you don't want to, the objectionable thing is killing, but there are some instances where that might be the case. Like in real life, you have the self-defense rule. Like if you kill in self-defense, it's justifiable because your life was in danger, that sort of thing. So there are rare instances, but it's not by like, you shouldn't be a superhero's go-to. It should be like very rare if they can prevent it. If there's nothing else they can do, then maybe they can choose that option.
For story's sake, I don't mind if there are superheroes that kill, like if it makes sense to the character. Like to me, it wouldn't make sense if Wonder Woman was against killing. She's an Amazonian princess.
Yeah, and a Greek warrior.
Punisher has interesting stories. That's interesting to tell. I just don't like the whole modern day thing where they're like everyone who has power should kill, because it goes against the whole superhero vibe of with great power there must also come great responsibility. Like superheroes should be held to a different standard. They have all this immense power on them.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good way of looking at it. Whereas, you shouldn't, like, someone with that much power and that little accountability should not also be judge, jury, and executioner. And I think Batman does know that really well. That's why he wants to work with James Gordon. He's not opposed to working with people within the system. He wants to fix the system, because fixing the system will fix Gotham. Like if the police department is made whole, as the police department is made pure again and works for the people again, and if the people running the city are becoming more honest, then the people will eventually benefit. It's far beyond just taking out a few thugs or fighting a few villains. It's actually fixing the future of Gotham. So you can't really take that last step of being the executioner. He has to let the system handle it. If the system fails, it means that he has more work to do. But he has to let the system handle it, because that'll be a sign that Gotham is becoming healthier.
Ectran 4205 said something interesting about killing and torture.
It's above killing, but not above
Batman is above killing, but not above torture, which is I've always found that kind of amusing, because it's very true. He both physically and psychologically tortures people, which some would argue is worse than just straight up killing them. But at the same time, the point is that he believes killing is crossing the line, and he only tortures to bring people to justice. He doesn't torture because he likes doing stuff. If solving something doesn't need torture, he's not going to do it. And usually he tries to do psychological before he resorts to physical.
Absolutely.
He'll just scare you into thinking he's going to do something.
Because the thing is, there's no going back from killing. Once the guy's dead, there's nothing you can do. If you torture the guy, he might be like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again, and might turn his life around. Who knows?
Which is the goal. Batman's goal is to scare them so badly that they will think 5 times before committing another crime.
It's like fire is hot. I'm not going to do that again. So commit crime after my encounter with Batman. No, thank you. Let's see. Deventius says, I think Shady said it best. Do you think evil exists? Because it does. And evil is never dead enough.
I don't remember saying that. I mean, I could hear myself saying, like, do you think evil exists? But I don't. If that's from a video, I don't remember.
Well, it's a good line, because it does.
I am currently working on a video where I talk about something like that, where you can't just assume that there's all good people, but I can't remember a past video of that. But I do talk about evil and good a lot, so
it's a really good topic, especially when you talk about superheroes. It's just something that they themselves tend to tackle quite a few times. But yeah, speaking of evil, that's kind of the most devious thing about the nature of evil, is that it doesn't play fair. It just doesn't. It will come to you at your most dire hour, when you have nothing left, and then offer you a way out. So it will come to you in your most vulnerable state. And that's the scariest moment of all. Like, do you say the moment where you either say yes to evil, or maybe you die, or you lose everything? Sometimes it's like, do you let go of your dreams, or do you say yes to evil? Like, it's a temptation. It's a big part of the hero's journey I tend to talk about, and it's, to me, that is the moment where it is the defining moment, is a hero's temptation test. Now, traditionally, it is woman as temptress, but it can really be anything. Because that's the most traditional temptation for a man, is a woman, but it could be anything. So it could be, and this is a moment where the hero will face his most dire temptation that will lead him off the righteous path, and that will lead him towards a life of debauchery or sin or dishonor. Dishonor is a big one.
Luke killing the emperor.
Yes, exactly. Like, do you kill this guy in cold blood? Like, what do you do? What do you do? And then he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. That was a big decision, but it does end up saving his father. Like, just getting him back to the mindset of, what I'm doing is wrong. There is a better way. Because I think Darth Vader became evil because of hopelessness and cynicism. Like, there is no better way, until his son showed him that way. That showed him that path.
It was also frustration.
Yes,
he coveted power, and then the Jedi wouldn't give him the respect he felt he deserved.
As pride is the most classical of flaws people fall to. Hubris, if you're Greek. It's a J Prize 62 says, awesome having Shady Doorags here. I agree. Love your
too.
kids.
I like that Shady Doorags fella. I think he's got a good
cool
head on his shoulders, and also he is sexy as all get out.
Absolutely. I also love your vids. Very good stuff. Let's see. But yeah, so I don't know if you ever I know it's cliche now, but if you ever talk to any weeb, they will say berserk. Have you seen Berserk or heard
I
about
have
it?
not seen Berserk.
It's interesting. It's really good. It's there. Well, it doesn't begin that way. There is an arc you get to called the Golden Age arc, which is prime storytelling. It's like fine dining. But the thing is, you eventually get to the eclipse. Now everyone talks about the eclipse scene. What the eclipse scene is, the character Griffith has forged his own path. He's led an army. He's became a very valiant, he's very powerful, influential mercenary, winning wars all over the kingdoms until he starts working for this king, and he starts winning wars. And he's able to help lead the kingdom to this victory over this other kingdom, and everything's great. Everything's fantastic. Griffith, his main goal is to become basically a lord in and of itself. He's going to build himself up from nothing to becoming a lord. And then his best friend Guts leaves, and that crushes him because his pride is that you all belong to me. And he sees Guts as like his first friend, and Guts leaves because Guts thinks that leaving and going on his own path is exactly what it takes to become Griffith's friend. It's kind of ironic. This not knowing that Griffith already saw him as his only friend. But Griffith is so crushed by this that he goes kind of crazy and sleeps with the princess and is caught and gets tortured for like 3 years or something like that. And it's not like cinematic torture, like, oh, he's just beaten up a few times. It is torture. They come back like a year later or whatever. Griffith's body is ruined. His tongue is cut out. His muscles are just destroyed. His tendons are cut. Like all of his tendons he can't move his body. He's ruined. It will never ever recover. And at one point, it's like this one great warrior, basically Anakin being in Darth Vader's suit, except for the Darth Vader suit doesn't bring back his mobility. He's stuck there on life support. So at a certain point, Griffith's all of his dreams are shattered. He will never become a great warrior. He'll never become a noble. He'll never become a king. Never. There's no path to redemption. He'll never have another chance. He's just a living husk stuck in this useless body forever. There's no recovery. And at one point, he tries to run away. He tries to commit suicide in his own way, the only way he can. He ends up by the lake, and he looks up, and there's an eclipse happening. And when he was a kid, he had been gifted this amulet called the Egg of the King, and it turned out to be this demonic device that notes him as chosen to become part of the God's Hand, which is basically a member of these 5 epic level demons. And he can have everything he wants: power, influence, armies, whatever, everything he's ever wanted. And all he has to do is sacrifice everyone he's ever loved to that. So his choice is, do I remain in this useless body forever, a living shell, never able to even lift my arms to achieve my dreams? It will never get better. Or do I sacrifice everyone I've ever known to achieve my dreams? And the reason why it's so infamous is because he says yes. I will throw all my friends, all my loved ones to the demon's fire to be eaten by ravenous demons, so that you can use their blood to be reformed into a member of the God's Hand.
There's the famous Lincoln quote of, if you want to test a man's merit, give him power. A lot of people think of giving a average Joe Schmo like a lot of money or something like that, and then see what he does with it. But it also accounts to this, where a man is on, or a person, I should say, is on at their lowest, and they have the power to come back from it, but it costs someone else. It costs someone else something, and it's like testing their character. Like you are at this low point, you can bring yourself out. Do you sacrifice others to bring yourself out? And that's a real true test right there. And it's one I would love to say I have the morality to pass, but I'm not even sure, because I don't think I've ever been in a desperate enough situation where I can empathize with such a decision.
It is tough. It is tough because we all like to think that, well, yeah, I'll reject temptation when it comes my way, especially on that level. But man, when it arrives and you have the opportunity to just all you gotta do is just sin a little bit. All you gotta do is just do a little bit of bad, and you'll get all this benefit. I mean, it's tough. It really is. We all like to think that we will say no, but it's so tough to do so when that moment arrives.
Especially when you're at like the brink of your low point. Like it's one thing if you're doing hum-de-dum-de-dum, just doing just fine, and then like temptation comes your way. But like if you're at a extreme low point of your life and you can be lifted up by just doing a little bad, it's like I can imagine it's really enticing.
Oh yeah. In fact, that's kind of why I came to the conclusion of like there's a moment in, oddly enough, the Star Wars prequel trilogy that is really profound. It's like the Sith and the Jedi are the same in almost every way, which is true about heroes and villains. They're kind of the same in almost every way, except the temptation moment. Heroes will succeed in their temptation test. They might fail a little bit, but they will know that they need to redeem themselves. But a villain will not only fail, they'll delight in that failure. Like this is the good path. They'll justify that failure and say, no, this is the only way I could have done it. It's the only way forward. I had no choice. You know, we've all heard these excuses before. I had no choice. The only way I could move forward is the system wouldn't let me. A villain will take that route and be happy about it. Will justify that route. Well, meanwhile, a hero will succeed, or they will fail a little bit, but know that they have failed and need to redeem themselves. That's kind of really what makes a hero and a villain.
I mean, I could say like there are times where you truly don't have a choice. Like with the I wouldn't say you don't have a choice, but the choice, it can be justified. Like with the Batman Joker situation, it's like, oh yeah, it could be described as letting the Joker die as being evil, but the alternative was, to me, worse. So go back and let the Joker die and go capture that criminal. It's not, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a good thing, just a justified action. But with what's usually, I know what you're usually talking about, where people have this victim mentality of everything is against me, so I'm allowed to do the wrong thing to get what I want, because there's no way I can go about it the right way, which has always baffled me, because I grew up extremely pressuring myself and the environment around me pressuring me to be a good person. So by the time I hit adulthood, it's like those types of thoughts, to me, it's just straight up excuses. It's like, yes, sometimes the system will be against you, and the only way you can see to get past the system is to break the rules. But is that dream worth getting if you have to destroy yourself to get it? In my brain, it's not. You know, I've lost jobs because I've refused to compromise myself. Literally, I had a job where they were telling me to like lie to the client, and I was I'm not going to do that. And and they're like, well, if you're not going to do that, you're not going to keep this job. And I'm like, well, bye.
I get, what else do you do? That's it. You pass. You're a hero. A lot of people probably wouldn't say no to that. They probably was like, okay, well, who cares? It's the client. I'll never meet this person again. I'll just lie to them and I'll get money. A lot of people think that way. It takes a strong moral character to say, well, I'd rather lose this job than have to compromise myself in that way. It's tough. It's always tough.
Now, to be fair to me, I had like fallback family I could go to after losing that job. Some people wouldn't have that. You know, they might be back on the streets if they said no. So like I said, I've never been to like the rock bottom precipice where I had to make that decision. But that mentality just doesn't come natural to me. Because I spent so much time in my youth like guilt tripping myself to be a good person. So it's
the whole mentality of like, the world is mean to me, so I'll be mean to the world. That's a villain's mentality.
I love Spider-Man so freaking much. That's how his story starts. The world
Yes,
is
it
mean to
is.
me, so I get to be mean back. And he straight up tells you, no, that's the wrong path to go down. Because, like, well, they justify it with those bad things can come back around on you. But that's not what it actually means. It means you should be doing good for the sake of doing good, not because other people are doing good around you.
Exactly. And it's so this is an episode of House I talked about where it's like it's about the death row inmate, and the character Foreman just hates him because Foreman grew up poor and this guy grew up poor, but Foreman kind of overcame his social situation to become a high ranking doctor, and this guy chose to become a murderer, and so he just hates this guy, and they find out that there is something wrong with him that kind of increases his adrenaline. I think like this insane shots of adrenaline. So he gets cranked up. He starts killing people because of this how energized he gets. And then Foreman has a change of heart. He goes,
I've actually seen that episode. Wow.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites because House retorts something else. He says, that why are you sticking up for him? He's like, well, there was something wrong with him medically. Well, he didn't have to kill people. Still, there's probably a lot of people
taken away.
Exactly. He still chose to do evil. And so it's like just because the world is evil, or we have these impulses and there's something wrong, and it's not fair, does not mean that you get to do evil and it's okay now. It just doesn't mean that. It's tough. Like what happened with your job. They kind of said, hey, lie to the client. It's always tough. And it's just, you can find 1,000 justifications as to why doing this is okay, but it's not ever really okay.
And I try to tell people that, like, I when I make these videos about like morality and whatnot, I get people saying like, it's hard, they don't say it's hard. They say, I don't want to do that because this consequence will happen. And then I retort, I never said it was going to be easy. I never said there weren't going to be consequences. I said it's the right thing to do. Like, argue that point. Is it right or wrong to do this thing? I understand there are going to be consequences. I've lived through some of those consequences. That's not the point.
Exactly. Sometimes the right thing to do is, sometimes the right thing to do is really tough to do, and you don't get anything out of it. In fact, you'll lose things out of it.
Yes, that was another thing I learned from Spider-Man, and it's one of the reasons why he's my favorite fictional character of all time. As a kid, I guilt tripped myself to doing the right thing, and I would get so mad because people around me were doing the wrong thing and they would get rewarded for it. But it always felt like I was punished for doing the wrong thing. And I was like, maybe I should just give in to this temptation and just do the wrong thing like my peers around me. And I read Spider-Man comics. Spider-Man always did the right thing, and a lot of times doing the right thing punished him. I didn't always agree with Spider-Man with what the right thing was, but I loved that he would stick by his principles even when he knew he would get punished for doing so. And that taught me growing up, like, I need to do that. I'm not always going to be rewarded for it. People aren't always going to know about it. In fact, sometimes I'm going to take damage because of it, but I need to stick by my principles.
Absolutely. And the right thing to do is always, in the end, even if you get punished for it, if you pay for it, it's always worth it. In the end, to do the right thing, because then you're morally clean and you did the right thing. It's so much harder to be a bad person. It might be more rewarding, but ultimately speaking, it is, even on the most evil people, it's like in history and everything, you can tell it's morally rough. And I talk about this too with Under the Red Hood, where should Batman also keep his friends from killing people? And the answer is yes, absolutely. A good moral person will definitely prevent people he cares about from killing other people, because the act of murder weighs heavy on the soul for most people. It takes a lot to carry that weight for most people of murdering somebody else. And so I think Batman knows this, and Batman would definitely, as a moral hero, would prevent others from killing anybody under any circumstances. Now, it could be justifiable, but I think he would want to save their souls from that weight. It's a Hudson Bomb. Mr. Final Superchats. I've asked this before, but once. But what is a good example of a hero protagonist failing their main goal, but moving on and finding a new goal?
I guess technically Wreck-It Ralph, like Wreck-It
Oh,
Ralph
yeah.
does get
That's
the
right.
medal, but he doesn't get the hero worship that he was looking for. Like the medal is technically the goal, but he wanted the medal because he wanted the hero worship. And he gets the medal, he gets to live in penthouse, but he doesn't get the hero worship. But he decides that none of that matters because there's a person who cares about him. And that's really all that matters to him.
Yeah. That is true. I didn't think about that. But yeah, Wreck-It Ralph has the main goals in the beginning, but his goals shift because in the beginning his goals are very selfish. And then later on, as he becomes a better person and evolves, he doesn't get what he set out to achieve, but he does find something better, more meaningful by the end. It's a good example of protagonists failing their main goal but moving on to finding a new goal. Yeah, I really can't think of another example right off the top of my head at this very moment. But
That is a tough one. Like,
yeah, failing the main goal but then finding a new one. I'll give it some thought. It's Dante Vias says, thanks for the one. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. Let me see here. Okay. Well, we're getting close to the end of the stream, but we still have some time left. I want to go over this video. Should be pretty interesting. It's kind of on the shorter side, so it should be fairly perfect. No, wait a minute. I know what we could do next before we get to that. Have you seen their trailer for Batman Nightfall trilogy?
no.
Check it out. I haven't seen it either. So
Is that
it's an animation. It's a new animation coming out.
okay?
It's supposed to be like about Batman Nightfall, where that's where Bane is introduced. Batman breaks his back. So let's see.
Gotham City needs Batman.
Batman, you haven't slept since Arkham exploded 2 days ago. His training is coming along.
We're all that stands between those inmates and the fall of Gotham.
They say you are the greatest detective. And yet you did not see this coming. I intend to break you. Then give it your best shot. Let chaos reign in Gotham.
We have to help Batman.
Suit up.
Well, that's a gritty new look for the Dark Knight.
Something else is going on out there.
Come get some!
Grayson!
You must pay.
Some Batman villains I don't really like the design of. I kind of prefer Batman villains to look like a souped up mobsters. I think it's the Joker. They all wear suits and everything. I like that design of Batman villains. But Bane became an icon of his roster, and this is where he came from.
I mean, there's two ways you can go with Batman villains. It's either they're gangsters at heart or they're the cartoon villains. It looks like they're leaning more towards the cartoon villain aspect. The only design I saw that I wasn't too keen on was Joker's. That looked a little out there. Like it's not horrible. It just looks a little out there. I couldn't help but laugh when Rob was like, "You've been on edge since Arkham Asylum blew up." I felt like that dialogue could have been like better, like since Arkham was breached, or since the destruction at Arkham, since it blew up.
Oh yeah, Robin, it blew up. Are you retarded?
Did you see that Frank Miller story where he's like, "Are you retarded?"
I don't think so. And I was also laughing when he's like, Batman puts on the cowl base, like, "I'm going to break you." Batman's like, "Oh yeah, do your best." And then it cut to black. In my head, it was just like an echo. It's like, "Oh, he broke me."
Good stuff. But
it looks interesting. It looks like it's going to go down an interesting route. But as a comedian, my brain always immediately jumps to jokes whenever it can.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with this one. This Nightfall was one of the kind of, I guess you could say, iconic comics that was out there for Batman, mainly because this is where Bane is introduced, and this is where Batman breaks his back, which has been echoed in a lot of Batman works, including the Nolan film. Let's see. Michael O'Brien, thanks to the $5 super chat, says Zuko is a great example of failing the temptation in the season 2 finale, but then falling to temptation, yes, but then repenting and becoming a true hero. Yes, absolutely. That's why Zuko is an anti-villain at first, and then becomes a hero.
A lot of people use Zuko as like the blueprint for redemption arcs.
Yeah, because he has a really, really good one. Like paint by number, like really. I say like it's like paint by numbers redemption arc as a good thing, because he's like you can look to Zuko as a character that did fail and then become a better person.
I think the failing is what makes him stand out, because
yes,
at the time everybody's rooting for him to change in book 2. By the way, I think book 2 is the best book in Avatar. But everybody's rooting for him to change in book 2, and then he doesn't. And some people are like, "Oh, come on, he's doing this again. Hasn't he learned his lesson?" And other people are like, "Well, that's the point. You don't always pass on temptation," and he didn't.
Yeah, it was one of the big defining moments. Like, because I remember watching the episode when it came out. Like, no, Zuko, what are you doing? How could you do this, Zuko? Like, you were making friends with Katara. You knew who were the good guys. You knew for a fact that Azula is not to be trusted, and still, you say, this is what I mean. It's like it comes to you at your most vulnerable, and it's classic temptation test for Zuko in book 2. Like, here's everything you want, Zuko. Here's your kingdom back, your rightful place as prince back, everything you have ever wanted, everything you've fought for years, ever since your exile, is right here. All you have to do is say yes to Azula and help her fight the Avatar. That's all you got to do. And he said yes. He said yes to the temptation, but because he's a good person at heart, that's why he got exiled in the first place, because he's a good person. It never sat well with him. So we got to see the book 3. He's enjoying his role as prince, but he can never get it out of his head how he got there. It was not due to honor, which is the main thing he's been trying to get back ever since he got exiled. It was due to deception.
It eats away at him terribly, because he not only did he deceive people, but he betrayed the one person who stuck by him when everyone else left him. Exactly. In order to get to where he wanted to be. Like, his ultimate goal was, getting back to being Prince Zuko. But during the time where he wasn't Prince Zuko, it's like you don't deserve me at my best if you can't handle me at my worst. During the time when he wasn't Prince Zuko, Iowa was there. During the time where the Fire Nation was literally trying to kill him and almost succeeded, Iroh was there, and he betrayed that one person.
Absolutely. And that wouldn't hurt most of all, because Iroh was his mentor. He was the one guy who always stood by him, even at his worst. And then that was the guy that he betrayed immediately when he decided to say yes to Azula and no to his uncle, and then also betray his newly formed bond with Katara, because they were forming a bond based on honesty and vulnerability. They were both like expressing the most vulnerable moments to each other in that, I guess, that crystal prison. And I think she almost used her healing water to heal his scar. That's how kind of like on the same level they were. And then from Katara's perspective, he took that trust and crushed it, this without a second thought. This boom, betrayal.
And it's why a lot of people say Katara's completely justified in distrusting Zuko the longest, because she trusted him once and he killed her friend.
He died. Like, yeah, Aang died.
Well, he didn't kill her, but he didn't kill Aang, but it was his fault Aang died. Like, if Zuko, even Azula admits this, and I don't think she's lying when she does, she says she cannot win that battle without Zuko. Like, she
can't. Yeah, she can't.
I think that was 100%. That was represented. Katara almost killed Azula. Katara had Azula dead to rights, and Zuko came in and interrupted it.
Yes. So and I think she was losing, and some people might say, "Oh, she was losing on purpose." I don't think Azula Azula's pride would let her do that. That's my contention with that aspect. I think she was losing legitimately, especially by the time we get to book 2, where they already fought her. Now she had like this. They beat her the first time they had that big pile-on where she's fighting like everybody. She could take them on for a while, but eventually over the course of time they would beat her, and so that's why she surrenders. But she's really good and really clever, but she's not invincible.
I didn't think about that they had already ganged up on her once. Like I knew that, but I didn't think about how that is why she believed she couldn't defeat the gang without Zuko. And the gang has also defeated the entirety of Ba Sing Se by themselves.
so they're pretty powerful at that point. They're pretty powerful. But yeah, book 2 is really good. It's a critical one. It's kind of like the Empire Strikes Back of Avatar. It's also in the same place. But yeah, because not only do we get these huge turns in the story, we also get Tales of Ba Sing Se, which cannot be underestimated in how impactful those tales are. Because not only do we get a cozy little story section, we get to know more about the characters. And this is kind of where the whole Iroh visiting his son comes into play. This is where we get Toph, coming in and is like, yeah, she's a girl. Actually, she likes dressing up. She likes feeling pretty. That's why she has a really good time with Katara, who is unapologetically feminine. And she's like, Toph is able to try makeup for the first time and feel pretty for the first time. And it shows. It shows. And this connects to what I saw recently, which was Wonder Woman 2009, where there's a traitorous Amazon who sided with Ares against her own people. And like that's kind of blatant. Like, are you just kind of siding with him because you want a boyfriend? But no, that wasn't the actual case. The actual case was pretty profound, because it's like, why did you? Hippolyta asks her, why did you betray us? And she goes, you betrayed us, Hippolyta, by cutting us off from the world.
Oh, you just unlocked a memory. I forgot I had seen that quote.
It's good. It's like I was blown away. It's like, whoa, this is pretty heavy.
Well, because like it kind of come. I mentioned this earlier. Like it kind of come across as sexist when you talk about this stuff, but a lot of women will admit that is something they value, for someone to value them.
Yes, because that's what she says. She's like, you cut us off from the world. Yes, we Amazons are warriors, but we're also women. We want men and families and children, which is the opposite of what's being called for now. Like it's deemed sexist to expect that from a woman. That like to say women want families and children. That's what they value. Like, are you sexist? That's how dare you say that? Because now today women are supposed to be seen the same as men for some reason. I don't know why, but that seems to be the case. Like if you dare say that men and women are different, that's considered sexist.
I mean, I can tell you why, but that's the whole tangent.
Alex, the $2 super chat says, darn it, overslept. What have I missed? The entire stream. Welcome, Alex Halo. Megalithon. They should have $20 super chat. $20 super chat. It's a Megalithon says, been quite a day today. Quiet today. Just enjoying the conversation. This has been it's been really fun. I said before, but I do really like the Batman cartoon for the 2000s. It's not the best Batman, but I like the look and feel and the dark fun. You mean like the Batman? Like I think was that the one?
The Batman, yeah. I got a lot of flack in one video where I said young me refused to watch the Batman because I had a bias when I was young where I couldn't stomach a Batman if it wasn't similar to the DCAU version. So anything that was close to that, I would love it. But I like Batman Brave in the Boat and the Batman. Like I just refused to watch because they were too different.
I mean, the Batman animated series Batman is so definitive. It's such an iconic version of the Batman. Even today, it's still like the Batman people kind of look to and remember and go to as like the core baseline of what Batman should be. So yeah, it's understandable. But I did like the Batman mainly because of how exaggerated the villains are and how it was kind of portrayed. It's very interesting. The Riddler was voiced by Robert Englund, which is Freddy Krueger. I thought that was kind of cool. So it was very interesting the how exaggerated everything was in that show. That's kind of why I liked it. Also, they did something really interesting with Clayface. They took Bruce Wayne's best friend, turned him into Clayface. That's pretty cool. I like that. I kind of like that aspect. Although they took away Mr. Freeze's like a backstory, he's just a criminal in that one. He looks kind of cool, literally, but he's just a criminal there. Gold Reaper 2 says, "Did you see the Smudcast is defending on?" I technically know that they did it, but I didn't see the whole thing. I was like, "That's crazy." I thought people who say Griffith did nothing wrong was a meme. I didn't know they actually existed. Yes, he did things that are wrong. I'll take a bold stance and say Griffith sacrificing all of his loved ones to become a god would be the wrong thing to do. It's Alexander Dishes 2 says Penguin had a robot. Yes, that was cool too. Like Penguin had these like 2 robot ninja geishas, and he was also a martial arts master because of his trip through the Orient, as he says. I'm like, okay, I think this is a cheap excuse to get him to be able to fight people, but that was interesting. I think it was voiced by Tom Kenny, so it was like SpongeBob was the Penguin. All right, chat. Well, there we go. There's Batman Nightfall, which I did have the pleasure of talking with Graham Nolan on Nightfall. It was pretty cool. Like he and Chuck Dixon. I had some other name in my head, but I was like, oh, Chuck Dixon. That's what it was. But Graham Nolan and Chuck Dixon, they kind of came up with Bane. It was pretty interesting. They made Nightfall. And I got to hear Graham Nolan's story about how he got screwed over from the Nolan films because they used Bane as the main bad guy in the 3rd film, but he didn't get a penny in any way, shape, or form from that movie. Let's see. Christopher 65 says, Shady, I do appreciate your takes on Daria. I appreciate both of your views on heroes actually being heroes instead of mockeries of noble humanity.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear Daria be talked about a lot on here because, like, of the main series of my channel, Daria, Justice League, King of the Hill, Fillmore, Daria is like doing the worst right now. It doesn't get that many views, but it's good to hear that people are enjoying it.
It's very interesting because it's not like a big hard-hitting show today because it's very much a product of the 90s or of its time. But it is I think I would consider it a very important show because it does kind of like hit on the notes of the attitude of the 90s. It really does. It might not be as popular now because it really was a product of his time. But there's some episodes I really liked about Daria. I like Daria as a whole, as a show, except for Tom. I hate Tom. Tom sucks. This ruins everything.
I mean, I've talked about Tom. Like, I think Tom could have been good. I just think they shouldn't have centered him around Daria and Jane. Like, they should have made him his own character.
Yeah, because he broke up the friendship, and he didn't even have the decency to be interesting. He's just a bland, this marshmallow. That's about it. It's so bland. There's nothing really interesting about him except he hates his rich parents for like no reason.
I mean, he's a teenager. Daria doesn't really like her parents that much.
That's about it. Yeah, it's basically the main thing. It's like, oh, I'm a teenager. I'm rebelling. He drives like a terrible looking car out of rebellion. Also, I think it's like okay, but yeah, it's like we had the really cool friendship between Daria and Jane Lane, and then Tom comes into. I mean, it gets really messed up when Tom steps in. That is a crazy situation. Like Jane Lane starts dating him, and then Daria kisses him, and then starts dating him in return. Like, whoa, that's not even like a test of friendship. That's like, how are you friends after that? That's crazy. Like, how do you steal your best friend's boyfriend and then continue to be friends? I mean, that takes some monumental levels of forgiveness on Jane Lane's part.
Did you ever see the movie that happened after it?
What was that one about?
Is It Fall Yet?
Is it the one where she goes to like summer camp and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did then. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of explains it because Jane says, "I forgive you, Daria." She doesn't. She doesn't act like and eventually it all comes out where Jane is just like, I can forgive the boyfriend thing, but what is so hard for me to forgive is that my friend betrayed my friendship that was very important to me. And it comes out that Jane's relationship with Daria is it's already well known at this point, but it's spoken out loud that her relationship with Daria is super important to her, and she can't believe Daria was willing to risk it for a guy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Especially Daria. It's like, come on. You're really gonna risk this friendship that Daria has valued and like really does value. That because there's moments in the show where it's like, what am I going to do? Like go off and start make another new friend? Like I can't make friends very easily. She admits this. And then she like goes with Tom and essentially chooses Tom over Jane Lane. I mean, knowingly, it has to be. She's not that socially inept. But yeah, that the movie was really interesting because it kind of like forced everyone apart. And then they kind of had to kind of deal with things on their own. I think that's kind of also the one where Jane Lane goes to that commune or something and gets hit on by a bisexual lady.
Yeah, she gets hit. It's actually very interesting how little Daria cares about consenting age, because they will easily make a joke about an adult liking someone who's under 18, including that situation. But yeah, that's the one where it's officially stated that Jane is straight. And I love posting that on Twitter when people are like, "No character has ever been confirmed straight." I'm like, I got the perfect
Jane Lane has.
that.
Jane Lane has. In fact, she's like, "No, I'm straight," and she's like, "Okay, maybe I'm a little curious because the girl was gaslighting her, like, oh no, I can tell you're a lesbian, I can tell," and she's like, "Wait a minute, you're just telling me that to get in my pants?" Like, no, I'm straight.
Actually, it's actually such an interesting concept because Jane is a lot of times you forget Jane is a teenager because she's so confident in herself compared to Daria and the other characters around them. But Jane has these moments of vulnerability, and that's one of them. She stands her ground in front of the bisexual hitting on her, but when she leaves, she shows that she actually did successfully get gaslit into thinking maybe she is bisexual. And she goes to talk to that girl later about that, saying she intends to say maybe you were right, but the girl reveals to her that she just says stuff and doesn't take it seriously. And Jane gets super upset at herself for being like, I can't believe I actually took what you said seriously when you don't take what you say yourself seriously.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, she's going to go sleep with that professor. He's like, wait a minute, did you just say he was awful? Yeah, but She's like, wait a minute. So yeah, Jane Lane is unquestionably straight, not bi or lesbian, but straight. I think the same thing goes with Daria, although I don't think it's like she just admitted it or said it out loud, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't like girls either.
She has shown an interest in 3 boys and 0 girls.
Yeah, 0 girls. And all of them are very interesting. Like every single time Daria falls in love with a guy, it's very interesting. But because it's like she's so put off by the whole being normal teenager thing that it's really interesting every single time she does become one for a little bit. Which is my favorite episode is the one where she gets contacts, where she has to become. That's one of my favorite episodes of Daria.
That is my favorite episode.
Yeah, it's because it's so revealing. It's like it kind of breaks past
revealing.
Yeah,
contact
lenses, glasses, because it doesn't just reveal things about her. It reveals things about her classmates too. And like it's about her like having this big persona that I'm she's had that persona of I don't care what people think. You shouldn't lean into the traditional outlook of what people want you to look like. But the moment she gets this chance to look prettier, where she can lose the big gigantic glasses and get some contact lenses, because Daria is a pretty girl. She just doesn't try like Quinn does. In fact, the creators said that they want her to look pretty but plain. So she does have a beauty to her that she does not exploit or lean into. But when she takes off the glasses and puts on the contacts, people kind of start treating her differently, more of a normal person, and she likes it, and she hates that she likes it. She hates that she likes it, and to the point where it's like, I don't want to put on my glasses, but I also can't really stand the contacts, so I'll just go to school completely blind instead. What is a big sign of where she is mentally, where she's like, oh man, I hate that I like this, but I like it.
The two things Daria struggles with in terms of beauty is, one, she's not shapely. I think she might actually be flat, but she's not shapely. They show that in the wedding episode, that everyone can fit in the dresses except her.
Yeah.
The other thing is she struggles with social cues, and she struggles with making herself sound enthusiastic. That monotone voice she does is because she genuinely cannot express feelings correctly. She doesn't know how. There's an episode where she tries to do it while reading to elderly, and she actually asks Brittany to help her sound more enthusiastic about her reading, but she can't.
She can't comprehend.
She can't do it. Something that comes to most people naturally.
As Brittany's like, okay, how about you? Let's raise your voice at the end, and then she just sounds so awkward. It's like, okay, and then the people went down to the store, and it's like she's monotone, and then like, okay, all I gotta do is pick up my voice at the end of every sentence.
And if you sound uninterested in what you're doing, no matter what's going on, people are going to think you're uninterested. So even when even if she's capable of catching the attention of someone, it's likely that once she speaks to them, it's not going to happen. So she's developed the habit of pushing people away, which they make very clear that that's one of her go-to tactics. She pushes people away and says mean things to them so that they will never get attached to her. And the only one of the few people that didn't work with was Jane, because she said something mean to the teacher and Jane kind of liked it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like the thing is, it's kind of like the Tyrion thing. Like she's already like this, and people already see her like this, so she kind of wears it like armor. But really, she does like the same things that everyone else does. She wants companionship. She wants a friend. That's why she values her friendship with Jane Lane so much. But she also wants to be seen as pretty. It's something that she didn't think she needed, but she likes it, and that's kind of why it's so that the whole glasses episode is really, really good, because it shows all of this, and she has to kind of come to terms with this fact that she thought she knew who she was, but really deep down, this whole thing revealed that she isn't so different. She does do the same things, but this whole
not so
different, is different,
just human or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We're just like Brittany comes in with the wisdom in this episode. We're just like human or whatever. Like, you know what, Brittany? Even Dari has to compliment Brittany on her profound retort here. But that's kind of what's so interesting about the show as a whole. Like, it shows you this almost inhuman girl who kind of is sarcastic and seems to be above it all, but really isn't at the end of the day. And I think that's kind of what's missing from modern day media, is that level of humanity. Because now it's like, okay, well, she's awesome. There's nothing else to her. She's just really cool and really good at stuff and just better than all the boys. And that's the end of her character. There's no real human level of vulnerability.
The shows today that attempt to be Daria are afraid of criticizing their Darias.
Yes.
Daria will criticize Daria and will challenge her on her perspective on life. These shows, they're giving into the intrinsic value that a lot of girls crave. But if you start criticizing the girl, it takes away from that, unless you're doing a type of male telling story where it's about growth.
Yes, absolutely. That's it. That's why Daria was like a show for girls, because it's like Daria she doesn't really try to better herself or grow as a person. She just kind of does. But when people see value in her, it's because they're noticing her skills that she already has. Like, I know there's one episode where she's noted as a really good writer and she's like an A student, and people find value in that. But there's one episode with like probably one of the only good moments I like Tom, where she writes to this thing, right, or this outlet, and they reject her, and then she gets upset about it, and Tom goes, but yeah, but like they said, they want you to try again, and rejection is normal, like for these things. And eventually, and this is something you really get a lot with female characters today, where she yells at Tom, she kind of bites his head off, and then kind of they part on they part ways, and then later on she just apologizes. She recognizes that I went a little too far. I apologize. When usually today it'd be like it's Tom's fault that she got angry, and he'd have to apologize. So Daria does take accountability sometimes, but it's very interesting that what she gets upset by is that this one thing that she's noted for. She's a good writer. She can write really well. She has very insightful perspectives, and then she gets rejected. Like, oh no, the value that I had has been rejected. Is the one thing that it kind of kept me going. Also, there's that one moment where Quinn becomes a genius, right? Like Quinn is like seen as a genius. I think because she actually wrote something really well. Because Quinn is not an idiot. She's also really smart.
So it's up to debate if she actually wrote that thing, because at the end of the episode, she says she got someone else to write it for her, but she could just be lying because Quinn is well known to show she hides her intellect so she doesn't get perceived as a brain.
Yeah, because that bringing brain is uncool. Also, she wants to fit in with her friends who are also kind of idiots for the most part. And like she doesn't want to be seen as like a nerd or anything. And then, but that episode, she is seen as an artistic genius. And what's interesting is Daria has like a crisis of character. We're like, okay, if she's a genius and everyone loves her, what do I do? What about me? And then Jane Lane goes like, okay, you can be a super brain, more of an outcast than before. And then you think Daria would be okay with that, but she goes, I don't think I could survive being a super brain. So even Daria knows that she has limits to how like, you know, antisocial and how much of an outcast she can actually be, because she really doesn't like being an outcast as she is. She just has to be that way because of who she is. But to be even more of an outcast, she couldn't weather that.
There's a part of Daria that likes being special and a part of her that likes being accepted. She pushes the accepted part down and allows herself to be special because it allows her to feel superior, but she doesn't want it. She doesn't want it pushed farther in that direction.
Exactly. There's only so much even Daria could take. Like, you know, I don't like having, because it does bother her. I think it comes up in a few episodes where it does bother her that the idea of losing Jane Lane as a friend. I think even outside the whole prospect of Tom, it's like, do we move again? Like, if we moved again, or if for some reason Jane Lane goes away, like this, I sacrifice my one friend, because they both value each other's friendship, and Daria is able to survive because she has Jane Lane as a friend. And it's so despite her attitude, she needs other people, despite everything. Let's see. Araloth the Bold says, "There's Devil and Shady. Did you play Dispatch? It's really good. I have Dispatch. I've yet to play it though."
I have not played Dispatch. I'm not much of a gamer. I'm trying to get back into gaming because I do want to make my own video game someday. So, you know, you kind of got to get knowledgeable about the medium. But right. I fell out of gaming after the PS3 era, once the PS4 came into play, because I was in college and I was broke.
That makes sense. Also, you should join the PC Master Race side.
I'm in PC. I'm in that. I play some games, but not that much. Like I play a lot of League of Legends. And like the newest game I played was Berry. But like those are really quick stuff. I have a very short attention span. So anything I do, including video games, I'll do for like 30 minutes and then I'll go do something else.
Yeah, it's usually how my thing goes. Like I have video games that I play sometimes, but for a few minutes to kind of get my mind off other things. Like I found this game that came out called Better Than Dead, which is kind of fun. It's just kind of a first person fisheye lens body cam shooter. It has mixed reviews. It's kind of an indie game, but I found it recently. It just released, but it's really fun. And your whole the idea is you get done with the mission really quickly. So like each mission is maybe 2 minutes, especially if you do it right. But yeah, I can see that being the case. This little moment to take your mind off of whatever you're doing. like a palate cleanser. Let's see, but I've seen people play Dispatch, and this seemed pretty fun. This seemed pretty good. Megathons LD need to do another show all about Daria. This is great. Daria's good. Daria's a good show. It is a good show. It has excellent characters, excellent like little social moments. It's social drama, which is why it's it has a really big girl audience. But it's really good at the lessons you can see you can get from it are really beneficial, especially because Daria kind of fights against some of these because of her antisocial behavior. But at the end of the day, it's everyone has something of value to bring to the table, whether it be the dad, the mom, or even Brittany sometimes. Like with the glasses episode, like even Brittany comes in with this profound level of insight, but it's said in a profoundly stupid way.
Except Kevin, for some reason.
Except Kevin. Kevin's just a moron. What was it? Yeah, and what's really interesting is that you think Brittany would be just a jerk, but she's not. She's actually pretty fun. And you would think she would just write off Daria as an idiot or as a uncool person no one wants to hang with. But she doesn't. Brittany is actually pretty accepting of a lot of people, despite being a cheerleader and one of the top ones, too. What else? The one who is like that is Quinn's friend, quote unquote friend. I forgot what her name was, but she leads the fashion committee or the fashion club. Yes. Well, of course. I guess I don't know how I didn't know that.
I had to remind myself. She said I had to hear Quinn's voice in my head saying "oh" because she said one of her catchphrases is "oh, Stacy," and I had to put the name after it.
Quinn is a master in her craft. She is a master,
and she doesn't realize it. That's the wait. I said Stacy. No, Stacy's the other one. Stacy's the one who's frantic about keeping her friends.
Right.
I can't remember the other.
Who was that? I forgot.
Sandy. It sounds like Stacy. That's
it. Did start with an S. It did start with an S. Yeah.
But yeah, Quinn is a master at her craft, and she doesn't realize it. Which not fashion. I mean, she is a master at fashion, but that's not what I'm talking about. Being a socialite, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Getting people to accept. Quinn thinks she's a follower who's ahead of all the other followers. She doesn't realize she's a leader. That when she does something, it makes other people want to do it, which was what that whole writing episode was about. That Quinn became a writer. Quinn being a writer made it cool. Writing wasn't cool. It was that Quinn did it. When in the first episode, she steps out of the car, everyone wants to be her friend. And she doesn't realize this. It's the way I view this, kind of like that song that came out, I don't know, like 2 decades ago. Is like, you don't know you're beautiful, and that's what makes you beautiful.
Yes, she's literally magnetic in her personality, just instantly. And it's like this. I think there's like one where they go back to camp or something like that, and she just steps out of the car, and it happens again. Like her friends, like, "Oh, Quinn, welcome back." It's like she just arrives, and people just kind of flood her pathway to get to her, and she's
that's what Stacy is so threatened by. I keep saying Stacy, Sandy. That's what Sandy is so threatened by. Sandy knows Quinn is a magnet because every time Quinn has 3 or 4 boyfriends around her, and Sandy cannot stand that
because she's way better than her at everything. But the only thing that's keeping her in power is that Quinn chooses to let her have power.
And there's that episode where Sandy gets fat, and so she has to quit the fashion club, and everyone's like, "Okay, Quinn, you need to be in charge." And Sandy has to manipulate Quinn to not feeling like she can be in charge. And then Quinn has to manipulate Sandy to coming back just so they could both be in the fashion club. It's Quinn is a really interesting character once they dive into her intelligence. Like, she's already interesting before, but once they start peering behind the curtain and showing you who she is, like you start coming up with all these theories in your head because she's actually could be smart if she wants to. She actually is intelligent. She's just insecure about being around it to her friends.
Yeah, I think she wants the attention. She loves it, but I don't think she wants the authority, which is why she likes Sandy being in control. She just wants to have the people worship her.
I think she's more so intimidated. Like, not that she doesn't want it, but she wouldn't know what to do with it because she thinks that's not her role. But if it happened, I think she would be happy about it, just a little like scared because she's never been in that kind of position. And I think the reason she's so against being smart is because Daria led by example. Daria has always been smart and always been outcasted. And Quinn, I've made this theory in one of my videos. Daria got so much attention from her parents because she was an outcast. And now, because of that, Quinn probably felt she didn't get enough attention. So now she has to get more attention as an adult. Like, it's just an instinct as an adult. As a teenager, it's just an instinct to her. And she has to be the opposite of Daria, who shows that being smart does not get you attention.
Right. Exactly. I mean, and also, like, you know, she prioritizes social graces and her where she sits on the social hierarchy. That's like her main thing. And that's kind of how she identifies herself. The same way Daria identifies herself as a brain. Like, I'm the smart one, and I'm the insightful one. And Quinn's like, okay, well then I'll be the pretty socialite one. And they kind of both forge each other their own identities and do not compete with one another. They kind of live in different worlds. But the thing is, Quinn is still Daria's sister. It's just not one didn't just get all the brains, the other one didn't. They both are intelligent. And they both got a dose of being pretty. Is that Quinn works at one of the aspects and Daria works at the other one. Because that's kind of what they gravitate towards.
They both are more talented in one area than the other, but they also both got a little bit of the other. Daria is a little bit attractive. Quinn is a little bit smart.
Yeah. I do like the episode where they kind of had that. I think it's like that marriage episode where they kind of go see one of the sisters getting married, like the mom sister. And we get to see that the mom was the Quinn of her siblings. And then here comes the aunt who's like, that's Daria. That's the Daria of her siblings.
Well, I think Helen, if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a while since I've seen that episode. I think Helen was a third thing. The person who was getting married in that episode was the Quinn.
Because she was the one that parents
was like her third marriage, I think, her second or third marriage. Or no. The aunt wasn't getting married. The aunt's daughter was getting married.
That was it, yeah.
And that's why she felt like the Quinn. And then the other aunt was the Daria of Helen's sisters.
And that's really good. And I like that with the moment that Daria meets the aunt. I forgot what her name was, but it kind of, you could see that Daria got hope seeing that aunt, because the aunt is kind of like her, just is like sarcastic, you know, the one that just able to make quips and jokes and is super confident, but also kind of cool. And so it kind of gives hope to Daria that one day she can be that level of confident and still remain who she is, who she wants to be, and then but also have the gravitas that she wants, the to fit in the way that her aunt does. It's the, you know, Daria is really underestimated these days, because it's refreshing for me to watch a show like that, because it has some subtleties to it. You see in them every episode, and it's always consistent with Daria's character that, yeah, she's standoffish and she kind of portrays herself as someone who doesn't care, but she does. And it kind of shows up subtly sometimes, and it kind of shows up overtly sometimes. And it's not that her persona is fake. It's not. It's just not all of her. There's other parts to her as well. Let's see. Let's say looks the $5 super chats. I've been playing Pal World recently. There's so much to the game. I've almost beaten it. One boss to go. I bought Pal World, but I never played it. But I heard it's awesome. I kind of do want to try it out. But thank you much, Alex Halo. Let's see. They must says, wait, you mean a person having desire and wants standing in contrast to how they present themselves? It almost sounds like a real person. Yeah, it's almost like, you know, back in the day, we had characters that felt like real people, because real people are not these sanitized, one-dimensional things that we get today in modern-day media. Real people have contradictions to each other. They have contradictions with themselves. They'll say one thing and then think another. It might be due to temptation, or they're wrong, or they're just trying to hide another part of themselves. But that's just, people are full of contradictions. What is a man but a pile of lies?
I would argue that there are a lot of real people in media. It's just that the settings they're in don't react realistically to them.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. It's just it's so because a lot of the modern day stuff is so sanitized. It's so safe, and they don't really get into the areas of humanity that Daria, for example, got into.
I think of that girl, the daughter from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the third movie, Quantumanium, his daughter, and how she like shrinks a car and gets sent to jail. And she just has this sassy attitude about like, oh, I'm in jail again, and then gives them back the police car. And I'm like, this is not a believable reaction to this situation. Like you did something really horrible and you're acting like it's not a big deal that you got punished for it. You should be punished severely for it. Your parents should be punished severely for it, for allowing you access to that tech. Like there should be harsh consequences here. But it's a silly superhero movie. Who's going to care about details like that?
Yeah, especially if it's a girl doing it, and you don't really have to suffer any kinds of consequences.
Plus, she did it to cops. Like they probably deserved it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, they're especially if they're white cops too. Then oh man, they must be like mass murdering hobos or something. But that's I think it's kind of what brings about a bunch of resentment. This 2-tier system. Like if a girl does it in a movie, it's just funny and quirky. You should be okay with it. But if a guy does it, oh suddenly it's bad. Suddenly, oh, this is serious nonsense. I think one thing that's really interesting is we went over, some time ago. We went over a video made by a girl who kind of like woke up to how Hollywood was portraying romance movies to women, and how it's like, okay, well, they're just all about cheating. Every single one of these is about how awesome cheating is. It's like, wait a minute. I like these movies, but yeah, they're all about cheating and how great cheating is for women. And then, but if a man cheats, whoa, ho, ho, that's a different story entirely. When a man cheats, it's always wrong, always bad. When a woman cheats in a movie, it's romantic and it's full of excitement and it's because she deserves it and stuff like that. So even women are kind of looking. Some women are looking into this, that the media that's kind of catering to them. It's like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty bad. The Notebook being probably one of the most prominent examples. Let's see, where was it? Comic Wiz says Dispatch avoids the postmodernism and deconstruction of superhero fiction by embracing the tropes and archetypes in their entirety. That you can go a really interesting way in Dispatch, as far as I've seen, where it's not about subversion, it's about embracing the goodness of being a superhero, because you're kind of a superhero who's leading a band of villains that are trying to better themselves. And to beat me to the Notebook. Yeah, that's the big one, I think. It's just about a girl cheating on her fiance. And then the fiance, of course, being cool with it. Because, I don't want to hold you back or tie you down. It'd be wrong of me to prevent you from being with your beloved. It's really funny that we did the whole Daria conversation with Bane on the screen. That is kind of funny. Look at very serious.
I think about that.
So, yeah, there's a total segment of the stream now where we're talking about this girl show with Bane on the screen.
I mean, if you picture the tubes as pigtails, maybe.
Excuse me, you're talking about me earlier. I need you to come back to talking about me, Bane.
Something like that. Let's see. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. There we go. Looking at Bane, thinking about Daria.
I too am a fan of Daria. I was telling Batman about this, but after I broke his back.
That is Batman his back broken, laying on the ground as Bane just talks about his favorite episodes of Daria while the ambulance is on his way.
I was so happy that Tom and Daria broke up at the end.
Oh, my back!
Yes, that is the pain I felt with them dating. But in my heart. Shut up, Bane.
Let's see.
I don't like. I never saw Daria. Stop spoiling it.
Let's see. Start your fan arts. I'm sure Bane would approve. I think so too. Let's see. Alex says that for a reason a lot of police arrest videos Asman reacts to. The girls always asked to call their moms when being arrested. I guess they think their moms will get them out of it. Bane is confirmed Daria fan now. Let's see. Comic Wiz said the Z Team and Dispatch are like the original Thunderbolts from Marvel Comics, a superhero team composed of former and reformed villains. I should like Thunderbolts for that reason. And criminals seeking redemption and atonement. Let's see. Slow clap for Bane. There we go. But unfortunately, time just flew by. And hold on 1 second. Fino Nisha, this is the 5. Rumble Brand says, this was a great show. Would hope that Shady comes back again. Love your videos, man, says Fino Nisha on Rumble.
Me too.
So do I. I think we're all in agreement here. But anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and cut off the stream, unfortunately. Just running out of time today. Even though it has been fun. It has been a lot of fun. Let's see. But we did not hit Pillarman, but we did get pretty close. But will you now you can go ahead and leave if you'd like, Shady Doorags, or you can stay for stream memes. Up to you.
I'll stay.
Sounds good. Well, then we'll go ahead and transition over to stream memes with this.
It began with the suicide of Charles Blackwell, just days after his 55th birthday. Then the Rhineswan family massacre. 3 generations painfully passing from this world, crying the same crimson tears Blackwell had.
5 members of the prominent Rhineswan family were found dead.
After that, the media finally gave their murderer a name. The Red Crier Killer.
Memento mori. Remember you will die.
Investigators believe the killer may be the same individual the media has dubbed the Red Crier.
Memento mori. Remember you will die. I know it's droll to sell my soul. I wanted to protect them though, but I couldn't even play my role. Now vengeance is my only goal. Memento mori. Too late for sorry. No goodbye. Breath goes dry. I will cry when I remember you will die.
Oh, yes, best chat. Thank you much, everyone, for joining me today. And we're off to the races. By races, I mean stream memes. Hello to everyone. And Alex5 says, Bane, I heard Batman watch all of Daria while in the hospital. That is why he broke his back, so he could have a vacation. But soon I shall give Batman back to the people. All right. Thank you much, Alex Halo. But here we go. Stream memes. Let me tell you something about Odysseus. It's so bad. Why is the Punisher playing Menelaus? Why is his head shaved? Anyway. Mind if I clear my browser history? No. You cannot. Let's see. Dumbledore. Snape. Bumbledore. Snaper. Harry Spotter. Hermione Grenadier. And Lord Voldemort. I'll watch that one. That sounds pretty awesome.
Gotta love how Harry does no damage. Everybody else is doing the work.
And Harry's like, it's over there, Professor Snape. I know, Potter.
Speaks to the show. And he'll get all the credit and fame.
Yeah, it's like he's the boy who saw. Let's see. Wizard Council 2021 banned spell list. Unending penis barrage. Summon ketamine ape. Greater Baja Blast. Okay. Transmute Idaho. Homoerotic vortex. Okay, I know why that one's illegal. When ketamine ape is outlawed, only outlaws will summon ketamine ape. You fools have dug your own wizard graves.
Only transmute Idaho. The rest of the states are fine.
Just transmute Idaho.
Nope. Oh, sorry, I meant transmute Florida. Okay.
Idaho, Idaho. Let's see. When your actual personality accidentally comes out at work, just the arm, like, what did she do? Satan says, "Why are you here?" Me, I used to call the phone numbers on missing person posters, say, "Hi, Mom," and hang up. Satan, bro, that's evil. I've also accepted Mojo Jojo going, "That's so evil." And then we have somebody put a tramp stamp on the Mothman statue in West Virginia, and I can't stop giggling about it. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Shady Doorags.
Hey.
Cooler Shady Doorags.
Wow, you dug deep for that first video. Or that first picture.
The much cooler Shady Doorags. It's me in 20 years wishing my kid to watch King of the Hill for the 1000th time. Hey, what you crying there for, boy? This is a good show. This is a damn good show. Darn right, Cotton. Finish the picture. Cotton kill Fitty Man. I'm Cotton Hill. I kill Fitty Man. The perfect political compass doesn't exist. Vote. Oh yeah, just Luann is a communist for a while. I think I remember that episode. She's not really into communism. She's kind of like, it's just the cool thing that she's just into for a little bit. And then, so this would mean that this is authoritarian left would be vote communist. Authoritarian right would be inarticulate yelling. Libertarian left would be, remember, cops are bad. And then libertarian right would be, it's my yard. Hey, Dale, your fly is down. Oh, it's my yard. Never miss a stream again. I didn't even know Rumble sent out notifications. Well, that's good. Who would win? Bobby Hill with his purse stolen or Dale Gribble with pocket sand?
Bobby.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Bobby on that one. He's like invincible when his purse is stolen. I don't know you. Dr. House in the house. Astral projecting into your location to remind you how stupid you are. You're an idiot, Yugi, and I hate that you have better hair than I do. Iron John mentioned. Take a drink. Yes, absolutely. Superman. I like the Iron Giant.
Everyone likes the Iron Giant.
That was awesome. And then I think this actually happens in the first episode of Adam West Batman. I forgot why he's dancing. I think he's just dancing to be part of the dance. I forgot if he's drugged or not. I do like the fact that in the show they can't catch a criminal because he drove away in a car, and because Batman took a drink, he can't drive. He's not drunk; he just took a drink, and therefore I cannot drive after drinking. Robin, and Robin can't drive because he doesn't have a license, so they can't catch the bad guy. Let's see. Okay. I'm tired of the street. These children. I'm tired of getting tangled in the entanglement of their lives. There we go. But Superman, you can't renounce your American citizenship. Sorry, comrade. In truth, it's truth, justice, and the Soviet way now. Has Big Blue gone Big Red? Find out in The Commie Superman.
I like how like the big deed he has to do is light a cigar. Like,
yeah, but it's Castro's cigar. That's how you know he's a communist. No true blood American would ever light a commie cigar. I mean, that's an epic way to light a cigar, though. Hey, Superman, light my cigar. And, yes, sir, Mr. Castro.
It's like the equivalent of bootlicking, I guess.
That's Mr. Superman. I light your cigar with my heat vision. I think it's like a Silver Age thing, like a Silver Age cover, because Silver Age would do this a lot, whereas it has like this weird cover where it's like, oh, Batman's in prison or Superman is killing Lois Lane. But you look inside the comic book, that doesn't actually happen at all.
They're clickbaiting.
Yeah, they really were with the Silver Age comics. Like, why is Superman cutting off all my oxygen while we're in space? Oh no. Goodbye, Lois. I'm with this woman now. Ha ha ha. Nobody messes with Adam Wee. That's true. Don't mess with Adam Wee. If Batman fought crime in Texas,
Yeah,
this would be cool.
pretty accurate.
It's absolutely just Dale. Oh no, wait, no, not Dale, and then Bill. Who is this guy? Like, who is Bill supposed to be here? I know he's like a football star, but what's the Batman equivalent? Is he Bane? That's my guess. He's Bane.
There's a Sportsmaster, but I don't know if that's a Batman criminal.
I don't. Yeah, I never heard that character before. Is this Bane on the left here, where he's wearing a mask? I kind of doubt it. I think the Dale Gribble with pocket sand is just Dale Gribble with pocket sand. That's pretty evil. Let's see. The rate of false accusations. Okay, accusations of rape, 97% false. The rate of false accusations of rape is not even close to 2%. That's a phony figure invented by feminist novelists in 1970s. Based on police records and court records, the accurate rate of false accusations is 97%. It's like the opposite. It's and then what's this? Loves me a secret, do tell.
You're not nearly as crazy as you'd like us to all believe, or even as crazy you'd like to believe. It just makes it easier to justify every sick, monstrous thing you've ever done when you play the part of the mad clown. You're crazy, Bubba, but you ain't that crazy.
Ah. Let's see here. Oh, here's Charlie Problem. God, basically, Marvel had a lot of bikini pinup covers. Yeah, back in the day when you could do that. Yeah. When they knew that if you wanted to sell a superhero comics, you probably should be catering to men. Socrates, if in the first proposition which you utter, you speak the truth, I will not pull the lever. But surely, if you speak falsely, I shall pull the lever. You will pull the lever. You're not playing right. Do or do not. There is no try. That sounds like an absolute Leota. And Obi-Wan told me the Sith deal in absolutes. Discovered by true identity you have. Eliminate you will. I will. Rid the galaxy of you. Jedi filth I must. He's just a Sith Lord. Trolley problem. 5 people will die no matter what you do. But if you pull the lever, the trolley will do a little flip. Do you pull the lever? Let's see. Would it be fair to people would it be fair to the people the trolley has already killed to divert it now? No, you just let him die. It's you solved the trolley problem. You've killed the person responsible for tying all the people to the tracks. It's finally over. Well done.
If only Batman could take that example.
Yeah, if Batman, look, if Batman killed the guy tying all people down to the tracks, the world would be a better place to live. The world would be a better place to live, huh? Let's see.
Gotham, your city is safe.
I assume they talk the same way. This Shadow and Batman. Literally Batman and a Shadow. What is this? There's a reason I don't have a list of villains as long as Bruce's, Barry's, or even yours. When I deal with them, I deal with them. Whoa. When the hangman catches you, you don't die by no bullet. When the hangman catches you, you hang. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. I guess that's Zuko after he betrayed Katara and Iroh. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. Griffith, my goal would would protect his dream against anyone, even if that person is myself. Yeah, it does exactly that. Griffith becomes insane. Was a more reaction to hearing Shady say he's never read Berserk. Satisfied SpongeBob. Very satisfied SpongeBob. Let's see. I saw revenge and revenge accessories. Whoa! Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Sandy, the Course, and Wrath? Yes, it's very irritating. I thought so. It's the kind of story that gets everywhere. That's my purse. I don't know you. As I think his name is Black Skull. Let's see. And then, I have permission. I have to have permission to die. I'm sorry. I thought it was America. Shay says, does the easy thing, does the right thing. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Prince Zuko, you're really going to get a kick out of this. Buff Iroh was inside me the whole time. There's the Batman. It's very interesting. There's Mr. Freeze, who I think looks really cool here, but does not have the same kind of character he has in the Batman animated series. Very disappointing.
Appreciate the pause before saying cool.
Very cool here. He has more of a chill personality. 7 years ago today, the anime world lost 36 Kyoto animation creators. They did. Oh, because of an earthquake? Victor Fries. My favorite kind of fries. There's a Joker. He's kind of more of an acrobat in this one. And goofy. He's very goofy. I don't think he kills many people, but he's very goofy.
Played by Kevin Michael Richardson, who can actually do a good Mark Hamill impression if he wants.
Yeah.
I don't think he does in that show, though.
I don't think so. It very much sounds like him, but he's a really good voice actor. And there's the Penguin, who now both has a really cool umbrella and martial arts skills. The Ice King. These are pretty cool renditions. Did you ever read Sean Gordon Murphy's version of the Mr. Freeze, I think, where it's like he never was married to Nora. He basically was kind of an incel type that worked at the place where she was frozen and just fell in love with her and imagined her as his wife. And in fact, I think Nora in that one is actually like from 100 years ago, and she was just frozen because I guess they had technology 100 years ago.
Go back to the Frozen one.
Let's see this one.
The lady on the top left. What would you call her? There's only one correct answer.
Oh, your top left here?
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
a fusion between Elsa and the Ice King.
That is interesting. Yeah, this does.
It's the Snow Queen.
Oh,
that's who Elsa's based off of. The Snow Queen.
Oh yeah, because she's the Snow Queen. Yeah, she's supposed to be the Snow Queen, but she really isn't. The Snow Queen was a villain. They can't have her be a villain, and they definitely can't give her a love interest. That would be going too far. Ever since Twilight, Robert Pattinson has quietly built one of Hollywood's most critically acclaimed careers, but he's still Edward Cullen. Although the Batman movie was interesting until they capture the Riddler and we kind of see that he's a psycho and very incel coded. But let's see here. I did not like trash bag Riddler. I want the ritzy, awesome Riddler. Carter Getcher looks at the final super chat. There's no lit dev. Chodo Animation Studio was set on fire by a psychopath. Oh, is that what happened? I thought it looked kind of burnt. Let's see your chat. All right. So here's a very buff Mr. Freeze. It's like Mr. Freeze with like the Venom or something.
Somebody mentioned Daria.
We'll kill the dinosaurs. The Ice Age. Let's see. And there is SpongeBob and Squidward serving hamburgers to Freerin and some other girl. and Chad PC Master Race. And then this reminds me of the Wonder Woman 2009, where they kind of they all scoff at Steve something, the main guy, who's like, he used the word crap, and they go, what does this mean? It means excrement. Oh my goodness, what, men are so vulgar. And then towards the end of the movie, when she's fighting Ares, and Ares is like, you know what, they launched a nuke just now, so I get a bunch of power from that. Wonder Woman goes, oh crap. Okay, which one of you let this gimp off the chain? Here we go. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. There's Daria, there's Jane Lane, there's Velma. Now it's kind of funny that Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are at the front here, and then there is who is this? I want to say it's Lisa Simpson.
I think it's Lisa.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, but she's not yellow, so I wasn't sure. And then is this the like iguana thing from Magic School Bus?
Yes, the teacher.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I'm saying, have you seen the teacher?
Yeah, the teacher is, I think, Miss Frizzle.
Yeah.
Right. And then we get the iguana thing, and then we have everyone's favorite, other favorite girl from the 90s. This is Helga Pataki, which I think they were supposed to get their own show, but it was way too dark apparently.
Daphne has a paw print from Blue's Clues on her lunch for some reason. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a Scooby-Doo joke or a Blue's Clues joke.
Yeah, it kind of looks like this because Blue's Clues was known for leaving paw prints behind, not Scooby-Doo. And I guess it would fit because Blue is technically a girl, I think. Selling out, that will allow me to sell out. I'm attempting to acquire the skills and knowledge that will allow me to sell out. My goal is to wake up at 40 with the bitter realization that I've wasted my life. That's my goal. And a job I hate because I was forced to decide on a career. Oh, that's a quote from her.
Yeah, those are both quotes from the show.
Yeah, those are both quotes. Yeah, so I recognize this one. That was like during the aptitude test or something like that, and her test gave her like the job of mortician or something. You're like, oh, okay. Her parents weren't very happy with that one. I think Quinn got like a really cool job or something, but yeah, she got like mortician. I'd say aluminum fences. Speaking of Daria or Jane Lane, I've always been a Jane Lane type. I mean, Jane Lane is pretty cool.
Jane's my favorite character in the show, and then after her, Helen is close second.
Yeah, Helen kind of starts off the show seeming like this your typical power suit lady, but she tries as a mom. Like she tries to do everything. She wants to be a really good lawyer. She wants to bring in the money, and she wants to be a really good mother. And she tries really hard.
And that's exactly why I love her character. Like she tries extremely hard, and you can tell, like even though she really puts effort into her job, there are episodes where she stops what she's doing to address her family. Like her family is her priority, even though she a lot of times has to put her job in front of her.
Yeah, exactly. And usually you couldn't have a character like that, and she could like play lip service to trying like, oh yeah, well, what are your feelings, dear? Whatever. They could have done that with her, but they didn't. She actually cares. It's just sometimes she has to balance out her job and how much she cares about her family, and that kind of conflicts sometimes. But she does actually care.
The thing about Jane, and the reason why you see so many people picking Jane, is because as far as 90s go, Jane is what the 90s thought was cool. Like, yeah, Daria kind of has the attitude, but everything about Jane is like 90s cool.
And she's got like the earrings, the hair, the weird hairstyle. She's an artist and all that stuff. That was like peak 90s cool character.
And she's also super confident in herself. Like she has moments of self-doubt, but she's a really confident character who goes out and doesn't care about what society thinks of her. Again, Daria has that kind of mentality, but she's more self-doubting than Jane, and she doesn't have the look to go with it.
Exactly. Like Jane also has like that style. She's not as like I guess frumpy as Daria, because Daria wants to be drab, but Jane Lane kind of puts a little bit of effort into it. A little bit of effort. And that kind of comes sometimes it comes to confrontation where Jane Lane will put in a little bit of effort and Daria kind of sees that as silly. I know because like Jane Lane would like go out for sports or something like that. And, like Dara sees that a waste of time, or she goes running or something. She goes on more dates, that sort of thing. Let's see, but anyway, best chat. We're going to go ahead and close down the stream for a day. So I want to say thank you very much, Shady Doorags, for joining us today. I had a fantastic time.
Thank you for having me. I need to check on my family. Completely unrelated to this stream.
And don't worry, with the completely unrelated, I'm pretty sure they'll be just fine in a few minutes. Right about now. Glad everyone had fun. Thank you much, Shady Doorags, for joining us today, and thank you, Best Chat, for always being Best Chat. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. So again, of course, next time.
On a cold winter morning in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal reign, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness has fallen